Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comment on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
K-How News Time, 10:03.
The grand jury indicted Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters on 10 counts. She's been under investigation by the FBI and the state for a suspected election equipment security breach last May. Charges against Peters include first-degree official misconduct, criminal impersonation, violation of duty, and attempting to influence a public servant. The Mesa County deputy clerk was also indicted on 6 counts.
Coloradoans are offered a deal on yearly admission to the state park system. State officials say the Keep Colorado Wild State Park Pass will be priced at $29. That's $55 less than the annual pass currently offered by the state park system. You'll have the option to buy the new pass when you register a vehicle with the DMV.
They're lowering. I don't understand.
They're lowering. Yeah, they say they're lowering the cost of the pass, and they're offering it to you when you register your vehicle at that lower price.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
6th Avenue eastbound is shut down. All lanes blocked due to an
Steve, daughter available?
What's up, dude?
Steve the painter with school thing.
Around that is of course, causing a major delay in the area. Again, eastbound 6th Avenue lanes blocked between Wadsworth and Sheridan. Really a lot of accidents this week, so use some extra caution, especially if you are south of 6th Avenue on the freeway. Pinpoint weather, dry conditions, clearing skies this afternoon.
How much did we save that one company listener, the Fire Hearth or something?
Colorado Hearth and Home.
It's like $70,000 a year, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean they're
Sheridan Auto Tech. We saved them a lot.
Yeah, we just we're investigating a charge right now, and
Figured it out.
We're give them another $400 this month.
What's that?
Looks like another $400 this month.
Visit Allstate.com.
I mean, it's a one-timer, but still, that's a it's still saving them quite a bit of money every year.
And then we're still doing pass the charges on to consumers if they want.
Yeah, yep. The laws are still the same. They may loosen up a little bit in Colorado, but we cover all 50 states.
The compliance is
yeah. That's the important part. The compliance.
Put this little sign up in your bathroom.
I think today 19.
Fuck, it's cold as a motherfucker. Where they say a witch's tit.
In a brass bra.
I'm not even sure why is a witch's tit so cold? Never got that.
Maybe because that Janaga bump on her nose keeps her from getting any.
Maybe.
I have a buddy who's helping build that building down at Anschutz, that new one. And he sent me a picture this morning, and they're in the basement working because it's been so cold. That's the warmest part, and it's still -5 this morning.
Oh my gosh. Alright, what do I got here? You know what? I haven't checked this forever to leave. I'm going to see if they fixed it. I would bet money it's not fixed, but why not check, right?
Alright. Yeah. Again.
It is fixed.
Uh-oh. Dang, somebody did something around here.
Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's new in your life this hour? Brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. RealCBDThatWorks.com for anti-inflammation properties, pain, discomfort of any kind. And if you use Tom in the promo code, you get 30% off. It's Panacea Life Sciences and Golden, and it's the CBD product I stand behind and works. It's wonderful. You know, they have a cosmetic line, too. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Welcome to the show. You know, we had a lot of important calls this week, and bottom line is we always seem to run across school problems that don't make sense. Now, when I say they don't make sense, school systems are very poor communicators. Very poor. Now, whether they do it right or wrong, I'm not judging. But what I'm saying is they're very poor communicators. And they also have a system of justice that is completely weird and off base. Sometimes they call police, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they suspend students, sometimes they don't. For the same things. There doesn't seem to be any consistency at all. Now, there used to be an insane proposal that anything done on school property wouldn't be a crime. Do you remember that? Anything less than a full-scale felony would not be charged on school grounds to kids. They tried to get that through. Of course, it didn't work. But schools over the years have been perplexing to us. Parents call and they say, you know, Tom, my kid was suspended. The other kid did the same thing, wasn't suspended. Or my daughter was picked on and nothing happened to the perpetrator. Or somebody says, my daughter was picked on and she was suspended and the perpetrator wasn't. I mean, there's a whole host of things in it. And it goes and it stems many, many school districts. It's not just one school district or another. Yesterday, we had a call from a woman with an 8-year-old kid suspended for trying to poison a classmate. Now, how does an 8-year-old even understand the concept? And how does this 8-year-old conspire to poison someone? Well, the way the story was told, this one student, a girl, was found trying to pour a toxic substance into the water bottle of another girl. When that girl was caught trying to poison or to pour a toxic substance into the other girl's bottle, she said, Damien made me do it. Not the devil, but Damien, a real kid named Damien. Damien made me do it. So Damien, 8 years old, is suspended on the word of one girl. Think about that. And when they questioned Damien, of course, he didn't have his parents present. And the bottom line here is the kid now faces an extraordinary battle to go back to normalcy. There's what they call a safety plan in place. And the mom, Melanie, says there's no due process. It's like they make up their mind what they want to do, and then they do it. They don't talk to them. There's no there's no trial. There's no official guilty or not guilty. There is just guilty. Have you ever had a problem with the school system with your kids? Do they treat people inconsistently or unfairly? We can talk about it. We're going to have the mom back on and try to delve into this a little deeper. Meanwhile, Mike wants to talk about buying a new home. Hey, Mike, we're talking about a new build, an actual new home, sir?
Yeah, actually, it's for my son. But I think I heard you say the other day that if the price goes way up, you know, there's no specific performance, I think is the verbiage you used.
Well, it depends. It depends. Normally, when you buy a new build, you're not buying the home until you close on it. You're buying a contract or an option to buy the home. And that is called a receipt and option, meaning you're given a receipt for any monies down with the option of purchasing. Now, under that option to purchase, you have certain penalties, you have certain benefits. They have certain benefits. They often don't put penalties in for themselves. And they can pretty much do what they want. I mean, that's most new home builds that are what's called tract developments, and I don't mean tract as a put down. I mean, what I mean is they take a tract of land and then they develop a number of homes on that land, and the contracts are usually all the same except for a few minor design changes, and then that's what they do. You don't actually own the home, you just own the option to buy the home, which of course can be changed. And many times builders now, to insulate themselves from the rising costs, they're putting in escalator clauses that if you don't like it, you can walk. What's happening in your case? First, where's the home?
It's near Severance.
Near Severance.
It's actually
okay.
for my son. So
I get it. And who's the builder?
I think it's Journey Homes.
Okay. What's the problem?
Well, there is no problem. I'm just thinking I'm trying to. You always say to call you before there's a problem. So
that's right. But did he already sign a contract with him?
Yes.
Then you didn't call me before. But okay.
Darn. Well,
okay.
Close though. They haven't closed yet.
How much money did they put down?
Not a whole lot. Whatever the minimum was is what they put down.
Okay.
But,
here's the deal.
I guess go ahead.
Most likely, I mean, you can, if you want, we can have somebody look at that contract for you. But most likely what happened, and this is where I tell people, get an attorney to review documents. Like we always talk about our real estate attorney, Brad O'Brien, olslaw.com. And we say that not because we want to drum up business for an attorney, but because for a few $100, they can look over that contract and say, look, here is where you stand. They don't necessarily say don't do it unless they think it's really egregious, but they might say, hey, this is where you stand. They can raise the price. You either can accept it or walk away. So if you're really counting on this home, here are the hand grenades that can ruin the deal, or here are some things you should look out for. And anyway, by the way, olslaw.com, 720-370-7388. Whenever I mention, I like to give numbers out because people always say, what's that number for real estate reviews and stuff. But anyway, in your case, if you want to send it to us, we'll see what Brad or someone thinks about it.
Okay. But so in general, you put the money down, you have an offer to buy the house, or an option, I guess, to buy the house. But at the end, they could, if prices go up, they could increase the value.
Well, it depends on how it's written. In most cases, I'm talking about it's a receipt and option. A receipt for money's paid, a contract for what's going to be done with an option to buy, and consequences for not following through, and outs for certain people under certain circumstances.
Okay.
I don't know of any contracts, for example, that would tie someone to a contract, for example, your son to a contract that says we can raise the price and you have to buy it. I mean, that would be considered like unconscionable unless they say we reserve the right to raise the price by 20% or less and you have to still go through with it. I mean, I don't even know any of those. But they can, trust me when I tell you, they're written to favor the builder. They're not standard real estate contracts.
Is there any chance that he could lose his, well, I guess there is a chance, but in general, is there a chance that he'd lose his earnest money?
If he does not perform. They can always go after him if he does not perform.
Okay.
If you read it, it should be pretty clear. They're not that complicated, those contracts.
Okay. All right. I'll try to look it over.
Have you heard about the development? Is it doing pretty well?
It's brand new.
What kind of house? Is he getting a good price?
He thinks he is.
I don't know. Here's what a dirty trick is for builders. Years ago, a builder called Main Street Homes tried this dirty trick, and this is what it is. They give an extraordinary price, knowing that they can raise it and sell it to someone else in the future. But that price, price they give, why would they bother doing that, you may wonder? Why don't they just build it and then sell it for more? Why do they get someone on the hook first and then raise the price? Why do you think? Here's why.
To help finance what they're doing.
That's right. Yeah. So for a developer to get construction funds, it helps them if they can show they have a buyer. Now, if they can get construction funds based on a sale price of, let's say, $450, the bank's not going to be upset if they cancel that contract for a buyer who'll pay $550. So they get people initially to sign up so they can go out and get construction financing, well knowing that they're going to raise the price. Now, that is not a good business practice if you could prove that was their mode of operation. But that's unfortunately what a lot of them do.
For over 150 years, CIBC has helped people go.
I can't believe this commercial said that wrong. 150 years.
To manage an entire workforce.
And is only to be said in a number when there's a decimal point.
From generating wealth to generations of wealth. At CIBC, we believe a bank should take you from where you are to wherever you want to be. CIBC, ambitions made real. CIBC Bank USA, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Do you know I've been associated with K&H Home Solutions for 40 years. One of the first companies I hooked up with when I came to town, because K&H has quality products. And right now, a lot of people are getting tax refunds. If you're one of them, you can make that dollar stretch and upgrade your home with new fabulous windows, siding, and doors from K&H Home Solutions. And by the way, it's the company I've trusted for years, and now they're doing 30% off, a true 30% off. Beautiful energy-efficient windows, durable siding, designer doors. Details at khwindows.com, khwindows.com. Homevestors is a company that buys homes. If you want out, deferred maintenance, you don't want to wait for inspections, loan approvals, or mess with people, you can call Homevestors and simply say, I want out. They'll give you an offer. Now, some people say they'll never give me what I can get. Sometimes they can. Depends on your house. Obviously, if you have a pristine, perfect house, you may want to go conventional route. But you may want to find out what Homevestors is willing to pay. 800-44-BUYER. You have nothing to lose. 800-44-BUYER. And if you are going the conventional route, Ideal Home Loans is the way to go if you're looking at a new home or to refi. They have the interest rate guarantee. What good is that? Well, you know what it is. Rates are all over the place, but right now at least you can secure a low rate. They're still low. And then if rates go lower, they refinance you free of charge. Here's the deal. Ideal wants that loan to be ideal for you, so they will write it for you. You pick your own term. You get the interest rate guarantee. They do credit optimization, which means you might have a 650 or 700 and you pass, but they can get it up a few notches legally and ethically. And guess what? You get even better pricing. One of the few companies that even know how to do that. And they have the pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. The money's set aside for you. When you find a house, they can close within days. Ideal. Homeloans.com, 303-867-7000.
If you're suffering every day with joint pain, stop and listen. You can get real, lasting relief.
By the way, I think you'll check K&H's 30s now. I'm almost positive they converted.
Solution that can restore and repair damaged tissue. No surgery and no drug. This is the relief you've been looking for. For your aching hips, knees, shoulder, lower back. The unique protocols at QC Kinetics were created by a doctor with years of study in regenerative restorative medicine. They're treating patients every day in hundreds of clinics nationwide with remarkable success. Life-changing results with zero downtime. It's the new, better, smarter, non-surgical, and non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. And yes, they're right here, ready to help you right now. So call for a free consultation. Make this spring and summer your best ever with no joint pain holding you back. QC Kinetics right now in Colorado. Call 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. Call them today. 303-900-8986.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with Cordell Springs, Colorado area attorneys. 8101 East Prentice Avenue, Suite 475, Greenwood Village, Colorado, 80111. Online at CordellCordell.com.
How long will this bull market last? What will the next recession look like? Are you financially prepared? Visit my website now at KurtCambier.com for your free portfolio analysis. That's Kurt with a K, CAMBIER.com.
Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Centennial Capital Partners are not affiliated.
When it comes to kitchen countertops and cabinets, you're flooded with choices. But my recommendation is but one choice, Art of Granite, luxury with value. Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Wholesale prices on all stone and surfaces, including quartz. Pay only for fabrication and installation. And when the kitchen is
Room is free. All tear out and haul away is also free. Call now for your selection of quartz. All the latest colors. 303-386-5919. TheArtofGranite.com.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Light snow is really wrapping up and clearing out of the area, leaving behind some extra clouds as we head through the first part of our Thursday afternoon. Sunshine is back by the evening hours with high temperatures only making into the upper teens. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Meteorologist Travis Michaels.
If you're a valued customer, you deserve a simple gesture of appreciation from your credit card company. And that's why Discover matches all of the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Hey, Harris Family Law is a law firm that can help you immensely during a divorce. I urge you to call them if you're even considering a divorce and get their early neutral assessment, which is a preview of what's to come from a neutral standpoint to see if you want to go through with it. Harris Family Law does something called collaborative law, which means they cooperate with the other parties and they say, we agree not to file anything if you don't, and we'll talk everything out. And they have saved people tons of money. They also do something called unbundled services. If you want them to, they can handle just one aspect of a divorce that maybe already went down, or a new divorce, or the whole thing. So you can pick and choose what you want to work on. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. Give them a call before you do anything. 303-515-5000. 303-515-5000. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. So we have with us today Merchants First, and I'll give that website out in a minute here. Corey's with us. You know, one of the things we came across years ago doing the show, we would get calls from small businesses mostly, and then it started with medium businesses, and then a few large businesses. One of the biggest mistakes, there's a few mistakes businesses make when they start up. One of them is choosing someone to process their credit card payments. Now, when you start a business, one of the choices you have to make is, are you going to take credit cards? Well, everyone takes credit cards. And if you take a credit card, you don't just take a credit card and take it to your bank. That credit card has to go through a processing system. And when it's processed, here's what happens. The processor takes the transaction, charges the merchant is then billed for that. The processor then processes it, takes a fee, and then deposits the net proceeds in your bank account. And if you have a chargeback, they mess with all of that. So that's what a processor does. But we had so many small businesses get these middlemen selling processing for ridiculous prices and tying people to 3 and 4 and 5 year contracts on equipment, expensive leasing fees for a credit card machine, and long-term contracts and high fees, and they're being screwed. And when they try to get out of it, there's big giant penalty clauses, or they sue them for the remainder of the contract. In short, it was one of the biggest problems small businesses had. Then it moved into medium business and large business because these credit card processing sellers got very unscrupulous, very unethical, and start lying and cheating. It is one of the industries, unfortunately, that lies and cheats people on a regular basis. Wouldn't you say I summed that up?
I think you summed it up. You left one thing out that I just learned on my last trip out of state. There is a lot of places, including the new Raiders Stadium in Nevada, that are cashless. You have to have a credit card. There's a lot of businesses are not accepting cash.
Well, okay. So what I'd like to do is talk to Corey. And by the way, peeps, you can call on anything. It doesn't have to be this topic, but if you're in business and you do credit card processing, you may want to listen because you may be able to get out of your contract. And if you haven't signed one yet, you may want to get in. And you don't want long-term contracts. Now, Merchants First is no secret for those who listen to the show. We started this because we wanted to help people on our referral list. So Mark and I started this years ago because we said, you know what, let's get some customers and give them a break rather than screwing them over. And that's what we did. And the website is savingonfees.com. So here's the highlight. No long-term contracts. Integration, I think it's free now, integration into their website, right?
Got to ask Corey.
Yes, Corey, it's free. And then free equipment or not? Tell us about it. Corey, you got to just sit close to the mic. Pull the mic to you. You don't have to bend into it. You can pull it anywhere you want, bro. Just like that. There you go. And then turn it on. Okay, go ahead.
All right, yeah, so this program that we've put together here is free equipment. We'll provide a piece of equipment for the merchant.
So no long-term leases at ridiculous prices?
No, we'll include the piece of equipment. It does all the most modern transactions, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay.
Wow.
So near-field communication. A lot of our terminals will work wirelessly. And even if they have a food truck and they're out in the field and there isn't great service, we can hook them up with either AT&T and Verizon with unlimited data for those transactions that are hard to complete in the field.
So they get free equipment, no long-term contract.
That's right.
So it's month to month, basically?
Month to month. And our guarantee is that if we can't beat it, we'll help them move. We want to fit into our customer's business model rather than...
So when you have a customer, if you can't beat a new offer they get, you'll help them move? What do you mean?
Yeah, so we would like that first right of refusal, if you will.
Like
because
if we can't beat it.
Yeah, we're confident that with our pricing model and the way that we structure the payments is that there isn't going to be anybody that can really beat our rates here.
Tom, we have...
Or terms.
We have one listener, or actually it's a business, or the listener owns, what's the business called, Corey? The ones we're saving $70,000, $80,000 plus a year.
Colorado Hearth and Home.
Colorado Hearth and Home, literally almost $100,000 a year in savings from switching to us.
Crap.
Now, they're a big company. I mean, you're a little company, you're not going to save that. But Sheridan Auto Tech, there's another guy that we've known Kevin forever.
Right.
We're saving him a ton of money each month.
So let's talk about how you save on credit cards. Anyone can benefit from this conversation. I mean, from the home sales, people have a business out of their home, to a small business, to a very large business. There are some things people, I know you're not going to be told about credit card transactions. And then, is it a myth that you can't pass on extra costs for a credit card transaction? Is that a myth? We'll examine that too. Plus, if you have any consumer problems, questions, complaints of any kind, 303-713-TALK.
Russell Wilson. What do you think of that move?
They gave up an awful lot.
I love it.
He better produce, though. You know what they gave up for him?
Yeah.
2 first rounds, 2 second rounds, a 5th round, and 3 players. Well, 2.5 players, because Drew Lock doesn't really count as a player. I mean, he's useless.
I think it was a great move, though. I think it's going to psych up the base. I think he's a great player. He's a really good dude, too, apparently. Do you remember years ago he came out when he got engaged and made it public that his fiancée and himself were going to stay celibate until they got married?
That's pretty cool.
For a player in the NFL, it's unheard of. Usually it's the opposite.
Correct.
What was it, Will Chamberlain? I banged 10,000 women?
Easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates, all from one place. Find your next great hire.
I thought that was Tim Tebow that said that.
When you talk about retirement, there are a number of things you can do, but most time you're talking about income, right? Well, I'm going to tell you about mymoneymyway.com. It's a website that'll outline 2 ways of saving for retirement. One is overfunding life insurance on purpose to grow a cash account that is tax-free. Another one is buying an annuity, either over time or with a lump sum, perhaps rolling out one of your retirement plans into that. Whatever it is, you can trust the people at mymoneymyway.com, mymoneymyway.com. You know who else you can trust? I've been saying this for 27 years, practically the whole time he's been in business. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank said it was a great day when he signed up with me. I know it was a great day for me because I met someone who takes care of customers like no other. And Frank buys and sells real estate for you as a broker. Yep, with RE/MAX Alliance. And by the way, Frank can do this, a free market valuation of your home for the asking, a comprehensive review of what your house will sell for. And it's way more accurate than an appraisal because he's basing it on sales over a 27-year career. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Michael Brown here from my partner. Sometimes we forget just how vital businesses are to real estate. They're not simply brick and mortar. Businesses support our communities by providing jobs. They provide Colorado with opportunities, valuable products and services. Businesses provide tax revenue and they support.
Hands are awful quiet this morning. What's going on?
Yep. What's happening?
I see you awful quiet this morning. What's going on?
Maybe the weather, honestly.
My toes is frozen.
It's time for the postseason. Hi, this is Voice of the Boss, Mark Johnson. This afternoon, after a first-round bye, the four-seeded Buffaloes are back in action. Quarterfinals. Coverage begins at 3 on KOA, 850 AM.
Yeah, we got to talk about, they can literally do 0 fees.
Yeah, 0 fees.
How much does he usually add onto the consumer side? Typical deal.
0 fees, what do you mean by that?
So the businesses get charged nothing.
We would charge them a monthly service fee, and they pay 0 fees for the processing. Unlimited transactions, and you pass those transactions on to the customer.
The consumer pays.
The customer pays. It's like just surcharging program.
A lot of
the state of Colorado does allow surcharging, so we've worked with.
So you don't call it a surcharge.
We call it a cash discount. We're not asking them to mess with their margins, move any money around. It's the way we present it that is approved by DORA.
A cash discount is legal.
Yes, it is.
So
and
we've already
almost every gas station does that if you look.
Yeah, and we've worked with the Attorney General here. We've been
so when they use the credit card,
the business takes out of that. The business plays 0 fees.
They net the same.
The business does this.
And honestly, we should move to that model for everything we do, but there's one problem. We would have to call and get the numbers from everybody. So I was hoping he could figure out how to get them from Chase, but it's just impossible. Because we'd move everything instantly.
So what are we doing now? We're not using our own right now?
We can't. We can't get the numbers. We would have to call 700 people.
So
can you imagine that nightmare?
To gross though, or to clarify, they would gross the same. They would net about 2.5–3% more because they're saving on all those fees.
Yeah, in some
they would net more than another credit processing.
That's correct. Because they don't have to pay those fees.
In a business, it's doing. Think about that. In a business, it's doing, let's say, $2 million a year, something like Sheridan or something like that. I mean, you're talking, what is that? $70,000 a year you're saving, right to your bottom line.
Oh, yeah, 2.5%. And it depends on the business. If there's smaller transactions, a lot of people are using debit cards. It may not be that much, maybe 1.5%. But larger ticket items where people are using, their Discover or their Visa corporate card or American Express.
When you say a debit card, if I use my debit card, which I never do, but just as a credit card, I don't put in a PIN, I don't do shit. isn't that virtually about the same rate, or is it still lower?
Yeah, because Dick Durbin, the senator, it's nicknamed the Durbin Amendment. He regulated the vast majority, like 90-some% of debit cards that are out there. So they're all 5 basis points, which is 0.05%, and 10 cents to transact.
So they're cheaper.
They're cheaper.
By a lot.
Because the risk is
whether you use a PIN or not.
Yeah, most of the time, if you just hit credit and don't put your PIN in, most of the time it's a little cheaper. It's just because technology's kind of flipped there. Some circumstances, PIN debit, we can save quite a bit.
How about the protection rate compared to swiping my Capital One, Venture card, compared to using a Visa debit by Chase? Do you have the same Visa protections?
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, harrisfamilylaw.com. Somebody asked what the law firm was, and they wanted to know if it's related to Blake Harris. It is not. Blake Harris happens to have the same name, and Blake Harris is BlakeHarrisLaw.com. So just wanted to clarify that. All right. So we are talking about credit card processing, a major mistake a lot of businesses make because they get into long-term contracts where they owe monthly fees on machinery and equipment and website stuff, let alone the actual processing fees. So they end up netting a lot less from their credit card transactions than they can potentially with a good company. So what is a good company? I'd say a good company is what we started because we did it on purpose, looking at all the mistakes. First, it's called Merchants First, because that's what we do, put Merchants First, savingonfees.com. But here's the bottom line. While I don't mind promoting what we've done, I want you to tell us what problems you might be having as a business person with credit card processing. I think the biggest problem is when you're in a long-term lease for equipment, how do you get out of it? Corey, if they come to you, Corey's with Merchants First. If they come to you with a long-term lease on equipment, what do you do about it?
Unfortunately, with those lease contracts with other companies, they're very difficult to get out of. It's like a car lease. So terminals that may cost $200 or $300 to buy out. They're making thousands of dollars on $59 a month lease for 36 months and $1 buyout. I mean, you do the math. It's thousands of dollars. But those sales representatives are coming in. They're selling these leases. They know they're going to get a couple $1,000s up front, and they're on to the next.
And that equipment is only good for that processor, right? Is that what they tell you?
In a lot of cases these days, yes. They will lock that terminal in. You'll have to have some security keys to be able to reflash or re-download those.
Have we had people that are willing to pay the penalty to get out of it just to have better rates and move on to a better company?
Well, absolutely. We can look at what their transactions are today. Look at what they're paying for those transactions, and in a lot of cases, we can save them above and beyond what those lease payments are. So they may have...
They just put the equipment away and don't use it.
That's correct. So we'll help pay for that piece of equipment. We'd like to put in a piece of equipment that we know works well, that we can warranty, that we can replace if something goes wrong, and we can move forward with them in a more positive manner.
Okay, and let's revisit this in a sec. Rex, you have a parking ticket issue. Anybody have problems? 303-713-TALK, always here for you. Rex, what's happening?
Well, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah. What?
Back in October, my wife received a parking ticket for the illegal parking of a Kenworth truck in Compton, California, in the city of Compton in Tustin, California. And the amount of $60.
Your wife got this.
But the only thing is, we've never owned a Kenworth truck. We haven't been to California for 10 years. And the last time we went to California, we flew anyway, so we didn't even have a vehicle out there. Now, our sheriff checked into the thing a little bit, and he found out that the Kenworth truck is owned by a company just outside of Wichita, Kansas. But how they ever connected her name
I don't
with
know.
that truck, we have no idea.
Somebody might have had an ID that was similar, or now, did they send along her driver's license number?
Did they send your
Not
driver's
her.
license?
Yeah, her driver's license number.
They did. No, I don't think they did, Tom.
Do they have her address correctly?
Yeah, your address was correct, wasn't it? Yes.
Her
address
name
was correct.
Is her name correct, including middle initial?
Yes, her name was correct.
And they sent it to her as if, did they claim she owned the truck or that she was the one?
They said they must have thought she was the owner because she was the one that received the parking ticket, and then we did nothing about it.
Yeah.
And then finally they sent another two or three notices, and then they went to $110.
Okay, but who is sending these notices? The state, or is it a private company?
It didn't seem to be. It seemed to be a city entity that was sending them, Tom.
Okay, here's the thing. Many of those parking tickets are private tickets, and they're sent by private companies, and here's what they do. They get someone with a similar name, and they send out a shotgun approach to see who pays, and there is no official authority on that. In other words, it's simply a collection notice. So it's very important that we know who is sending it out. Is it from the state, from the city, from an entity, or a private entity?
I'd say it had to be from the city.
Why do you say that? It had to be from the city. Why do you say that?
Well, because that's what it said. City of Compton, Tustin, California.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if Compton would be a suburb of Tustin, California.
Now,
didn't look into that part.
Okay, is there a license plate number given for the truck?
I don't think there was a license plate.
Well, there has to be.
Truck,
on a parking ticket, there has to be a license plate, or it's not valid.
Okay, here's the thing. We have the paperwork at the house, but we're in town here.
Oh, I get it. So why don't you do me a favor? When you get home, send us a picture of that ticket.
Okay.
We want to look at it.
We'll do that.
And then we'll tell you.
Here's the thing, Tom.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. They finally sent a notice out. Well, this is the final notice, and if you don't pay this, bad things will happen to you. We'll turn you over to collection agency and ruin your credit and all that.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Well, that tells me it's not the city. They say they'll turn it over to a collection agency. You got to send me the ticket, man. Okay.
Okay, we'll send you this stuff. Now,
Suze will give out. Don't hang up. Don't hang up though, because she'll get it. You paid it. Well, you shouldn't have paid it.
I know we shouldn't have paid it, but my wife said I just need to get them off my back. But here's the other thing. After we went down, we had to go
Tell
to the
your
post
wife she
office
owes me
and buy a
$100.
money order.
Yeah.
We had to go to the post office and buy a money order because we didn't have an account in it. I had open heart surgery, and we're in a different town than we live in, and but so we had to go to the post office and get a money order. We sent that, and after that, we got another notice.
After you paid it, how long after you paid it?
Oh, it was 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks?
And how much do they say you owe now?
It's still the 110.
Man, this is terrible.
Yeah, I thought you'd be interested in this.
Yeah, you send us the original notice. We can't do anything until we get it, okay, Rex? Just send us the original notice. But that theory, I just want to get them off my back, doesn't work for me. That sucks, man. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Do you want pure water in your home for drinking for under $1,000 for a water fountain, triple filter, reverse osmosis, the best system you can buy at the lowest price? Under $1,000 from waterpros.net. The people that I used at my home. 303-862-5554.
Compton is 25 miles away from Tustin.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
I don't know what's going on.
He's getting fried.
It sounds like it's some kind of a wreck.
He's getting fried. They got him in the popcorn machine.
Doesn't it sound like a wreck?
Morning with accidents, so watch for slick areas, especially in the Douglas County area. Fox 31 2-point weather.
Dry conditions, clearing skies today for Denver, but still cold, high only 19. And then sunny for tomorrow, but warmer with a high reaching 34 for tomorrow. Currently, it's 13. With your Impact Traffic weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 St. Powell.
Dell's semi-annual sale delivers unmatched productivity in play. Right now, save what Dell employees save with 17% off XPS and select Alienware computers powered by Intel Core processors. Visit Dell/semi-annual sale or call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
I use these two medical facilities. Now, I use Rocky Mountain IV Medics monthly and sometimes more often. In fact, Suze, I think we should have them in soon. You know, I had one not long ago, but I love hydration therapy. Do you know you pay no more to have them come to you than you would go into a hydration bar? And hydration therapy is one of the most common therapies available. It really is, for everything. Now, it won't interfere with anything. It'll just help you get better or feel better. IV therapy, they can recommend what you need. You can ask them. You can do your own general vitamins for dehydration, for migraines, for, you know, the flu, whatever. 720-987-2155. When you text that number, you'll get an answer, or you can call, sometimes same-hour appointments, 720-987-2155, Rocky Mountain IVMedics.com. Now, the other place I use, Colorado Pain Care. Now, luckily, I'm not using them that much anymore because I've learned my lesson on how not to injure myself when I'm working out. But here's the deal, seriously. Colorado Pain Care, they're stellar people. And what I'd like you to do is just look them up online. ColoradoPainCare.com. They are dedicated to getting people out of pain. They have multiple clinics around the metro area, and they have office hours from 7 to 7 for convenience, and they have same-day appointments. ColoradoPainCare.com.
Hello?
Hello, this is Dan, and I'm calling, so sign up on code radio here. That's $50.
Colorado Pain Care is working fine.
Talk to you. Any follows?
What? No, I got about 5 that are waiting me for call back.
Well, then let's at least revisit some of those.
What?
We'll revisit some of the ones you're working on. Just to recap. Just to recap.
Okay.
I'll talk about it when we can.
When you're in the right direction.
Hey, Joe.
And they might help you skip 2 payments if you want to do that. So why not call? Ask for anyone who's been to Michael Brown, and they'll get you started in only 10 minutes. Give them a call. Ask for anyone that used to work with me, and you can pre-qualify for free when you call 303-695-7000, 303-695-7000, or visit online, AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate. Everyone knows drinking and driving is against the law and extremely dangerous. If you've been drinking, you can easily make the bad decision to get behind the wheel, a decision that could be fatal. If you're going out to celebrate St. Patrick's Day and plan on drinking, keep yourself and others safe by planning a sober ride home. Whether it's a taxi, ride share,
I bet Uber's going to get expensive as fuck nuts, man.
Right.
A sober ride home is the smart and
It's going to
safe
get ridiculous.
Bus driving is drunk driving.
We could see the highest gas prices pretty much ever.
I thought we ordered with them.
You know, I think we have been too, now that you say that.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
I thought we broke the 2008 record.
Yeah, but how about like when they lined them up during the embargo? Was it still cheaper than $5?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, don't get it was in the 70s.
Yeah, I know.
So it wasn't the prices were high.
And you didn't have to have unleaded back then.
Right.
You could have the cheap shit.
Where? There wasn't no gas.
70s.
That was the deal. Everybody was running out.
Do you remember?
Well, yeah, you could only fill up, like on certain days
Yep.
and shit?
You had odd days, even days based on your license plates. Had lines going around the block.
So don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker.
It was slick if you knew somebody that owned a gas station.
And schedule a visit or call your doctor.
Or if you own a gas station.
Oh, if you owned a gas station, if you owned one, you would just hand over fist.
Even when you lose your money, call 866-901-2255. That's 866-901-2255 for your complimentary Save Money Book and to an Al Martino.
Does Rex have something else? You were gonna give him info on how to send us that pic of the parking ticket.
All right, he didn't get lost.
Give a good sense of direction. Give a good direction.
All right.
Denver's Talk Station. Online at khout.com.
Sundays.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here. The mic's working great, by the way.
I'm waiting to get back from the Adams County about the
Oh my God.
checks.
Okay, by the way, that is a whole can of worms. And obviously, people have been writing about it, and TV stations have been doing stories about Adams County. What the heck is going on? The Adams County treasurer is hoarding checks, apparently. They're not cashing them, and they're not sending them through the system. And there's money unaccounted for, too. So we have tons of homeowners who have written checks for property taxes. They haven't been cleared. And as a result, they're getting penalties, and the treasurer has no comment. The county commissioners are suing the treasurer. The treasurer is refusing to give up information. It's a mess in Adams County. And again, as I said, that should not be a total surprise in Adams County. On the intelligence scale of county government, I would say they're at the bottom, one of the ones at the bottom. Of course, the most bottom is Herfinale County. You've probably not heard of it, but basically that next to that would be Pueblo. And then next to that would be Weld County, and then Adams County. So, the bottom four in intelligence scale were the bunch of yucks taking over their government, scratching their asses in meetings and picking boogers. They're terrible people, but it should not surprise you. These are country yokels that should not be in government. So, do you have any knowledge of your Adams County treasurer and what the hell she's doing? Now, we understand she was an attorney, not that that gives her qualifications, and she was elected to the office, obviously. The problem with elections, as we know, really you can elect anyone you want without even knowing what their competency is. You only know what they promise you in campaigns. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Then what about school systems? When I went back after getting this one complaint, I went back over my records. Now listen to this. I got this one complaint about this kid being charged with a crime, 8 years old. Accused of trying to poison a student based on the word of one girl who was actually doing the poisoning. And now there's a safety plan in effect that could ruin this kid's life, but what the hell's going on? How do schools get away without due process? How can they decide one kid is guilty, one kid isn't? But I went back through my records and found out that this is pretty common in school systems. School systems are not run as democracies. They're run as dictatorships. School systems, they kind of have teachers, they have a principal, and then they have, they basically decide what they want to do and when they want to do it. For example, one girl, we get a call from a parent, and they say, my girl was sexually molested. Nothing happens to the perpetrator. On the other hand, somebody says, my girl was picked on, called a name, and the kid's expelled. In another case, somebody says they're picked on, and they're expelled. There doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason or due process in the school system. In the school system, it seems completely arbitrary. And I used to think, well, maybe it's the parents not recognizing their kid did something wrong. Then I realized it's not the parents. No, it can't be all these parents. The school systems are jacked up. They don't have consistency in how they handle parental complaints. And the worst thing in the world is when you are the victim, or your son or daughter is a victim, to be told, we can't tell you what we did to the perpetrator. It's private. What the hell, it's private? Did you handle it? How did you handle it? You can tell me. I'm the one they offended. If they did something to your son or daughter, beat the hell out of them, or did something inappropriate, and then the school system says, well, we handled it. How do you know how they handled it? Shouldn't they have to tell you how they handled it? And then when your kid gets in trouble and they call the police, shouldn't they call you and say, by the way, the police are on their way. We think your kid poisoned a little girl or tried to poison a little girl. Look, I'm not saying we should go easy on little brats that are juvenile delinquents, wrecking the school or violent. No, don't go easy on it, but get the parents in on it. You're not the dictator of our kids. Get the parents in on it.
Hey, Tom, are the school systems, can you make a request for, public information like you can?
Yes, you can. Reports? But you not anyone can on any kid because there's certain privacy with children. Okay,
but the parents can, I assume.
Well, if you're talking for an open records, yes. It depends. You can't get open records on another kid. Like, what did you do to that kid?
No, but you can get them for your own kid, I assume.
Yeah, of course. Or on the school board in general, or on, disciplinary actions within the school for teachers and general stuff. But here's the deal. It's funny. The school systems operate, much because of teachers' unions, as little dictatorships. And when parents speak up, they're called terrorists. Remember that? Remember that when parents were speaking up? Now, there's got to be some balance, right, on what you are told about what happens to your kid and the people who perpetrate crime.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you.
Yeah, I have a baby girl that was born 4 months ago. She just had a 4-month checkup on, thank you. And I'm dreading when she has to go to public school.
Don't send her to a charter school.
That's what my wife and I are going to do.
4 months old, right about now, she's going to be smiling at you. She is.
Every morning. It's the best thing to wake up and see her smile every
When
morning.
did she start smiling?
A month ago.
No shit. Really?
I'm not joking you. It was something.
Did she follow your hand?
Oh, yeah.
She's completely. That's pretty cool.
She's a little ahead of her.
Usually they're pumpkins until about 4 months.
Yeah.
I used to call my son a bacteria because every day it changed. Bacteria. And, from when they're that young, day to day, you can see the difference in their behavior. It's
So
incredible.
what happened with your daughter, as far you were saying?
I lost track.
Oh,
but I'm dreading sending her to public school.
4 months. What's her name?
Yeah, but won't your kid? Oh, you can't even go to Pondo, can you?
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, but you can go to a charter school.
Get them into Pondo or a charter, man. Although some of those charters are.
There was so much better than public schools, Mark.
Most of them.
I went to Oberlin your first child.
Many of
Oh
them.
yeah.
Depends on where they are. If you're interested in charter, you can charter this shit.
No, there's charter schools that are set up just straight.
The hell is
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no corporate running charter.
She's a good looking kid, huh?
Yes, of course. This is a big smile. Look at her. Look at her smile. He's about 40,000 acres.
Oh yeah.
He's about a lot.
My wife's a DNP in neurology at Children's.
Big giant
You
smile.
probably makes him look good, huh? Oh my. Oh.
I'm wondering who his wife slept with.
Here's the thing, man. She's got him already wrapped around that tiny
I
little.
know.
Oh, you have no idea.
He's done.
Those are the best years, man. Are like up to like 10, 12.
No, you know when the best years are? The day after they're potty trained.
Oh, that's a good one.
Until they're teenagers.
That's about it.
I was gonna go out for a couple drinks with some friends last Friday, and I had to cancel because I forgot my wife was going out with some friends last Friday, right? And so I called. I was like, "Cancel, guys." I was like, "When did they start wiping their own butts, making their own food?"
I'm telling you,
What's gonna happen?
once
If you're one before they make their own food, but you can prompt them to wipe their own butt.
I didn't care. I didn't care when my son walked or talked. I just wanted that day when he was potty trained. then it became fun to have him around. Because eventually they're all going to walk and talk.
Oh, sure. And now that she's developing like her own personality and she's laughing and finding things funny and exploring, it's just that's what I'm ready.
Is she talking yet? I don't remember.
She's cooing and she's singing. So we took her to church last Wednesday for Ash Wednesday, and she was singing in church. And she was, I was holding her yesterday.
Changes your whole life, doesn't it?
Yeah, we had this big, 8-foot mirror by the front door. And so I take her out yesterday, and I'm holding her head, and we're looking in the mirror, and I've got the front door open, and it's snowing, and she's just, I'm telling her, I was like, it's like we're in a little snow globe.
You get to carry my son right here, so that everywhere I went, he saw what we were looking at.
Yeah.
And
you know what's funny is my imagination started picking up again just as it was as a kid. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like trying to wonder what she's wondering. I'm like, it's like we're in a snow globe, when it's snowing, and then I'm looking in the mirror, and I don't know,
it's just a unique experience when it's your kid.
It's a wild experience.
Talk about having sharp eyes.
How old are you?
How old am I? Shoot. 88. So I'll be 34 this year.
When you discover how sharp her eyes are, it's going to surprise the heck out of you.
Yeah.
You're holding him here, and I'm looking at him, and I'm watching his eyes move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what you looking at?
The judge issued a temporary injunction barring the majority
This person was tracking a dust particle that was reflecting light. And I'm like, is that what you're watching? I said, let me see if that's really it.
Why do people not care?
It's like a light.
I miss having a little girl. It would have been fun to have one of each.
We have a breakfast enough, and so we'll sit at the table there. We eat dinner there most nights. And we have a little white picture that's above there. She'll stare at it. But sometimes she'll go like this, and I'm wondering what she's looking at. And it made me think, like, I tell my wife she's really
So how old were you when you were
the ghosts flying around the How old Kanye West had this album 51 called Kids See Ghosts Sometimes.
Okay.
No, so it was one of my favorite 52. So I 51 with my daughter. And joke with her about that. She's just seeing the ghosts.
It wasn't. I guess it's
It is pretty. I mean, it's pretty old. Most people don't have kids in their 50s.
No, that's true.
I mean, there's anything wrong with it, but it's an outlier.
What's the oldest woman that you delivered?
In the 40s.
Never anybody 50s, huh?
No. But if a woman is in good shape, the only detriment to having a kid is the increased risk of genetic abnormalities.
That's a pretty big risk, ain't it?
Well, once you tell them that, what the risks are, the actual carrying of the pregnancy for a woman in her 40s who is in good shape isn't that great. It's just the increased risk of chromosomal abnormalities.
And how? I mean, what does that look like?
Well, you just do an embryo. It goes up pretty, at the rule was at 35, the insurance companies would pay for an amniocentesis. But most insurance companies are letting them have amniocentesis earlier.
My wife, she's 6 months older than I am, and she was almost considered a geriatric pregnancy.
Well, how old is she?
She's 34.
Oh, yeah,
35.
Nowadays,
that's pretty damn young still.
They only do that.
We went private.
They only do that because of 35-year-old cutoff. In the old days, you could have an amniocentesis for Down syndrome at 35, and insurance companies would pay for it. Mm-hmm. That's why this thing about 35 became ingrained in our system. But if your wife is in good shape, she's really
Well, we did IVF, and so we got a boy on ice right now too. We're just waiting to, we got a.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We're excited.
You can, there's the doctor we used, Suzanne, for a second, got pregnant while on birth control, so we had to go see like a specialist.
Right.
And I learned there they can, they basically spin the sperm in a certain way. You can pick out boy or girl.
That's
That was 20 years ago.
That's what they
like that
say.
Chinese
Hold on,
CRISPR. That's not a sure thing, Mark.
It's very difficult.
He sure made it sound
No,
like it
it
was
sure
a
as hell's not. Trust me.
No.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget waterpros.net for the best water systems. I told you about the water fountain, under $1,000, fully installed for fresh water. Never buy bottled water, where you can also do whole house systems for softening, better plumbing, better skin, better laundry, better plumbing, all under $2,000, fully installed for the whole house. Waterpros.net. Welcome to the show. We're talking a lot about credit card fees and credit card transactions and how people are getting ripped off in small businesses especially, although a lot of businesses do, and how you can save money. We're also talking about your problems, questions, and complaints. We had something come up about Adams County treasurer not cashing checks, and we don't know what's happening to these checks. People are saying, our property taxes were paid by check. Now, we can't prove we mailed them in, but we did. And, of course, there's hundreds of people saying this, and their checks haven't cleared. Where are they? Did they fall on the floor? Or what's this county treasurer doing? And in doing so, I make comments, sometimes humorous, sometimes people don't think so. And I talk about, you shouldn't be surprised, with Adams County, on the scale of intelligence, as county governments go, they're toward the bottom. And then I made a comment that Huerfano County is at the bottom, and then followed by next to the bottom is Pueblo, and then next to that would be Weld County, and then next to that Adams County. And Kathy's got a comment on this. Go ahead, Kathy. Welcome. What's going on?
Hey, Tom.
Are you mad at me for this?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Tom knows about this. Yeah, it's not so much the treasurer's office in Huerfano County, but it's the assessor. That's the one who puts the values on things.
They're crazy people there. We had one problem in Huerfano County years ago, and the way the government was crazy. They were nuts.
Well, it's still crazy because, like you said, they're just local, yokel, whatever. Nobody has any education in there.
Their whole population, well, hey, you don't think third grade's education? Come on. Hey, their population is 6,820.
Okay.
Anyway, their county seat is Walsenburg. And I remember flying home one time from somewhere, and I don't know why I was flying over there. In my plane, and I had to land because of weather. And I remember trying to find a motel, and I knew I was in trouble when the marquee sign said vacancy, and then the other highlight was clean sheets. So if you have to advertise, clean sheets, I'm wondering what happens when you're not running that special. Anyway, go ahead. What do you know? What do you know about them?
Well, yeah, and I know a lot about that office, but
did you ever live out there? Heavens no, did you?
I moved there 10 years ago. I'm still trying to leave.
You're in Huerfano County?
Yeah.
Who names the county Huerfano? It means orphan.
I know, and we don't like that either. Some of us don't like that either. We don't want to be an orphan.
They could just call it Stupid County. That would be good.
Yeah, that could be it.
Anyway.
Yeah, listen, if whatever issues the counties are having, please look in. The state needs to investigate that assessor's office.
No, I know they do. But I don't know if the state is. The county commissioners are suing them. I don't know what's going on there. It sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. By the way, Huerfano County theme song is coming up. Yeah, boy. You got a fine looking. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Yep. And then we we'll take any and all calls, but don't get mad at me for ranking the county's intelligence. Hey, Kathy, another Kathy, a privacy thing going with your cell phone. What's going on, Kathy?
Yeah, I have a question. Please.
Yeah.
Let me give you the
Sure.
fast background.
Sure.
My grandson had trouble with alcohol, and every time I tried to get a hold of him, I couldn't get a hold of him. So I bought him a cell phone, and I paid for it on my plan. Well, now he's in ComCore.
In where?
You know what ComCore is?
No, is it like a Peace Corps or something?
No, it's like instead of going to jail, they take you there and you go to alcohol classes and you live on campus. And
okay, and what is it called?
ComCore.
Okay, in ComCore. Okay.
ComCore, and it's like a dependency program. That he's in.
All right.
So he was. They put him in there, and one of the guys that worked there comes up to me and says, "You have to take his phone. He can't have it." And I said, "Okay." Well, 2 days later, he got sick with congestive heart failure, and they put him in the hospital. So he said, "I didn't know how to get a hold of you or my mom or anybody because I don't know the numbers. They're all in my phone." So I gave him his phone back to use while he was in the hospital. Then he went back to ComCore, and they seized the phone. They said, "You can't have the phone." He said, "Okay." And we're going to go through it. And he says, "What you going to go through it for?" "Well, we have to go see what's in there."
Well, I know what they mean, yeah. They want to make sure he's not making any connections with
any drug dealers
and all that. Yeah, I mean, that's part of they give up their privacy when they're in jail. That's not a big deal. They can do that.
Right. I understand that. Then he says, so he gave him the code to get in the phone and everything else. And they says, if we're going to destroy the phone. He says, that phone is not mine. That phone is my grandmother's.
Yeah, but it's his.
We don't care.
He's got it.
No,
it's in his possession. That's what they mean.
And
I guess you.
So they have the right.
Have the right to. Yeah, they have the right.
Yeah,
they have the right to confiscate and destroy contraband. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do.
So they have. I can understand confiscating and destroy, but isn't it a violation of privacy?
No.
To go through somebody else's phone?
Not at all. Not at all.
You give that right up?
Yes, of course you do.
You give that right up?
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was
Kathy,
my question.
Kathy, he has, I mean, in jail, he gives up that, yeah. Now, there's certain medical information that they can't disclose, even in jail, but, trying to make this argument about he had contraband, that's what it was called. He's not allowed to have it. So they're going to confiscate it. They're going to destroy it. They're going to go through it. Now, by the way, they don't have to destroy it. I mean, they could have been nice. If they really knew it was yours, they'll say, listen, let's give it back to the grandma. They could have called you or something and gave it back, or maybe you can call them and get it. And maybe they still have it. Maybe they didn't destroy it. But the point is they told you he couldn't have it, and you gave it to him. So they're figuring we're not trusting grandma either.
Wait a minute. You didn't understand. When he was in the hospital, I gave it to him. And when I went to go get it back, they had already released him. But
he was still in custody. Originally, Kathy, you took it back from him, right? When he went into ComCore, they said he can't have a phone, and you took it back, right? Okay. Then you decided to give it back to him when he's in the hospital because you said, hell, I need to be in touch with him in case something happens. I get it. I get that. Yeah. But you didn't ask permission for that.
I guess I should have, huh?
Yeah, because you knew it was against the rules. So you were kind of complicit in sneaking him a phone. So that's how they're looking at it.
Oh, that's how they're looking at it, but that was not my intention.
I don't think it was either. I don't think it was either. Hey, Kathy, may I ask something? Where is his parent? Where are his parents?
Oh, his mother's here.
Is she a mom to him, or is it just you taking care of him?
No. I don't take care of him. She raised him and everything else.
Okay, good. How old is this boy? How old is this man or boy or whatever?
He just turned 30.
And he had heart failure?
Pneumonia and congestive heart failure, and they weren't going to take him to the hospital.
Was it like COVID or something, or what was it?
No. I went to see him. I went to take him some his medicine, and his legs were so swollen.
Oh, my God. Is he overweight?
Is he overweight? Nope. and he had gained 30 pounds of nothing but fluid. He was
Gosh.
having trouble breathing, and
Hey,
he
Doc,
called,
can drug
called
use,
somebody in
Doc, can drug use and alcoholism cause all that? That edema?
I don't think so. I think there's some underlying problem.
Mm.
there. It was alcohol. He's an alcoholic.
Yeah, but where
But
did he get?
he-
Where
they
did he
weren't
get? Where did he get alcohol in that program?
No. That's why he's in that program.
I get it, but then how did he get heart failure while he's in the program?
I have no idea. That's one of the side effects of alcoholism.
I don't know. Okay, who knows? Who knows?
So they weren't going to take him to the hospital, and another kid, and I call him kid because I'm an old lady, was in there with him. They says, he's having trouble breathing. If he dies, it's on you. And I'm a witness that you wouldn't take him.
Well, anyway, how's he doing? How's he doing now, Kathy?
Well, he's back. He's back at ComCorp, and he needs to be there because he needs help. He does.
Well, that's
and he's
good.
doing a lot better. No, I'm just hoping that they give him his medicine when they're supposed
I'm sorry you're having these problems, truly. Hey, Paul, you have a house fire. Man, I hope that you're getting help with that, with your insurance. Who's your insurance company?
Yeah, hi, Tom. The insurance company is Safeco. It's
That's a
part
pretty
of Liberty Mutual.
That's a pretty good company. Hold on, and I'll come right back to you. I just wanted to let you know I see you there. And Dustin, what's the problem with U.S. Mortgages? Is that the actual company, U.S. Mortgages?
Yeah, that's the company.
What's the problem?
They're right off of Havana and Centennial, I-25 and Arapahoe.
Is this with a refi you're having problems with?
It was a new purchase.
All right, hold on. I'll come right back to both of you. Coming up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Everyone knows drinking and driving is against the law and extremely dangerous. If you've been drinking, you can easily make a bad decision to get behind the wheel. A decision that could be fatal. If you're going out to celebrate St. Patrick's Day and plan on
day trader in New York, made it big, and
whether it's a taxi, rideshare, sober designated driver, or having a trusted friend on call, planning for a sober ride home is the smart and
someone you know.
Plus driving is drug driving.
What was his main drug?
Okay, we just heard about an insurance thing with a house fire. Whatever your insurance claim is, whatever it is, whether it's the big fires, total destruction, fringe damage with smoke, soot, ash, maybe a kitchen fire, maybe water, hail, broken pipes, wind damage, whatever it is, never trust your insurance company to treat you fairly ever. Once they send out an adjuster, that adjuster's job is to give you as little as possible on your claim. I swear to God, that's life, okay? If you don't believe it, you're going to get screwed. That's why I recommend you hire a public adjuster, and one I fully recommend, Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. They can fight for you and make sure you get treated fairly and get what you have coming, and they only collect on contingency, the extra money. Here's what you do. Contact them. They'll go over any claim free of charge to let you know what they can do for you. CoClaims.com. CoClaims.com, 720-715-0000, 720-715-0000. Now, someone else who's going to help you in another area is personal injury and John Fuller. Listen to this because it's really important. A lot of people don't realize that initial call you make to a personal injury attorney means everything, because if you hire that, you don't know if you're getting just taken in by some large firm that assigns a number to your case, not even a name. John Fuller will never do that. He'll talk to you personally from day one. He'll give you his cell phone if you hire him. And there's no obligation to hire him. Just call and ask any question you want. He'll give you free legal advice on your personal injury. Call John Fuller first, then make up your mind. 303-597-4500, 597-4500. Look for him at referralist.com. John Fuller. Do you know what the liquid loan is? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a loan on your house that you can pay interest only if you want. It's a 30-year line of credit, right? Now pay interest only. Keep the payments really low if you're going to move in a few years. There's no reason to pay down principal. But if you want to pay down principal, you're staying longer, you can. How much principal? Whatever you want. Whenever you want. And if you pay down a lot of principal and you later on need the money, you can pull it out again. It's called the liquid loan for a reason. You get to manipulate it any way you want. In fact, any money you keep in the bank for paying your normal bills is subtracted from your loan balance, so you pay even less interest. Why don't you contact Affordable Interest Mortgage for more information? That is 720-895-0500. theliquidloan.com. I'm consumer advocate Tom. That was wrong, bro. Now listen, here's the other thing. Was affordable interest still at 60 seconds?
Which gives you the strength of a cash bar, an ideal position that they
I know some clients have made adjustments. Good. Thanks.
Sorry, I didn't look at the fees. You know, it's like a landmine. If you really checked very thoroughly, you wouldn't lose a leg. But I didn't, and I just won't tell you. No longer do you have to choose between an easy home sale or the best price for your home. Let me tell you about Rudy, a recent Orchard customer. Rudy's home sold on the market for $33,000 of cash offer. Had he gone to a home buying company, he would have missed out on that extra money. But with Orchard, he got more cash at closing. Rudy's story isn't unique. 99 out of 100 Orchard customers sell on market for more than their cash offer. Getting started is easy. You go online and enter your address at orchard.com. It takes just a couple minutes and lets you skip home listing hassles. If you're thinking about selling or just curious what Orchard would pay for your home, get a no-cost, no-obligation offer at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Biden's massive spending plans expanded America's money supply and taking money out of your pocket. But you can fight back against runaway inflation by sheltering your IRA or 401k with gold. Birch Gold Group. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I'm proud to be a customer of Birch Gold. Join me. Birch Gold has created a free info kit for protecting your retirement with gold and a tax-sheltered account. Just text the word SHELTER to 98989. Text SHELTER to 98989 and learn how to shelter your IRA or 401k with gold.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast, now with a free drink with any breakfast sandwich purchase. Light snow is really wrapping up and clearing out of the area, leaving behind some extra clouds as we head through the afternoon. Sunshine is back by the evening hours with high
God, jelly's a pain in the ass to dial in.
Really? The number one pick is in. Wendy's Breakfast.
Just to dial in.
March Madness. Choose your starting lineup.
It wants to
dial in to target.
To throw all kinds of fucking goddamn. You gotta tease out the Fort Collins shit in most cases, and that is the hardest part. You have no idea how many genres of music there are.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Paul says he had a house fire. No one wants that. And you're having problems. What's going on, Paul?
Yeah, so on April 27th, clear sunny day, lightning out of the sky hit our roof.
Last year?
Last year in Monument, Colorado. It smoldered for about an hour. My son, during that whole hour, was in the basement in school online with headphones on, so he got out eventually, but he was in the house for about an hour, so thank God he got out. My challenge is this. On April 27th, the fire hit. 4 fire trucks were there, 70 firefighters, and we did not get the final approved estimate in something they call ESX from Safeco/Liberty Mutual until October 5th.
Okay, but hold on. What happened from April 27th to October 5th?
Safeco went through multiple adjusters, and we did not get the approved or first approved estimate from Safeco until October 5th.
Yeah, but why didn't you get your own public adjuster to represent your interests?
Well, we didn't do anything until we got the estimate before we were going to do anything further.
How much was the estimate?
The initial estimate, I believe they call it some sort of depreciated estimates around $335,000.
Now, what do you mean depreciated? Do you have replacement value?
We do.
What's your full dwelling amount, though?
The full dwelling amount with all of the addendums and add-ons is around $600,000.
Oh, good. So you got a 335 ACV, it's called.
Okay.
And then you get the rest when you build. So what's the problem?
The problem is, it took from April until October 5th to get that first initial estimate from Safeco, which,
we get it.
in my opinion,
we understand it.
An incredibly long time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And basically, work didn't really start on the house until after that initial estimate was presented to us. And so I've got an issue with the amount of time. Not
Why?
I
mean, what do you want as a result of that is what I'm asking. Are they covering temporary living expenses?
They are.
Well, then what exactly are you calling about? And I don't mean that as a put down. I'm actually asking. I don't know. What are you calling about? If they've given you an ACV and they've given you a total and they both sound pretty good, and now you are what are you upset about? Like, what do you want as a result of the delay?
Okay, so let's skip to the contractor, and I'll be brief. The contractor, 4 weeks ago, the house didn't burn to the ground, but the whole house has been gutted down to the studs. The contractor, 4 weeks ago, that came out was supposed to remove, and I'll just use an example, 40 out of 70 roof trusses.
Are you? Let me ask you something. Are you complaining about the contractor or the insurance company at this point?
I'm going to complain about the contractor at this point.
Because there's nothing that I can see that your insurance company did wrong.
Okay.
I mean, but then I'm not looking at the claim. I'm just saying procedurally, I see nothing they did wrong. It's not an inordinate amount of time to go from April or the end of April. So it's May, June, July, August, September. That's not a lot of time to come up with an extensive lost estimate. I mean, even when you work with a public adjuster, it could take that long. What I'd like to know, though, is what is the problem now with the contractor?
Okay, 4 weeks ago, the contractor subcontracted with a roofing company here in Colorado Springs. They were supposed to have removed 40 out of 70 truss. I'm just using that as an example. They ended up removing all 70 truss, the entire roof. The roof does not exist on our home.
Okay, and why did they do that?
Because their subcontractor's crew didn't get the message. They took the entire roof off, and the house has been exposed now for a month.
Now, okay, so if the contractors are being negligent, who picked the contractors?
Initially, I picked the initial contractor.
And who was that?
They're a restoration. It's called Statewide Restoration.
See, why would you call a restoration company? I mean, without checking with us, that's one thing I talk about every day on how most, not some, most restoration companies are lying, cheating, rip-off fools.
Sure, I do understand that now.
Yeah, so now they subcontracted to who?
I do not know the name of who they subcontract.
Okay, they're the ones that are responsible to you. Do they accept responsibility for causing further damage?
They have told me that they will accept responsibility at this point for replacing the subfloor, which is all drenched now in snow and and water.
But what about the additional trusses that weren't supposed to be removed?
And they've also verbally stated that they will handle that because that's an issue between them and the subcontractor they hired.
Right, but maybe the sub really thought they needed to be. I wouldn't doubt it. They needed to be torn down, and your insurance company cheaped out. But listen, I don't trust insurance company. I don't care who they are, because once they send an adjuster out, the adjuster is incentivized by what he saves them. So what I'd like to know is where are we going with the story? What do you want right now?
Well, I guess where I'm going with the story is who should I call? Who should I contact to protect me? Because the insurance.
All right, I just gave you. Okay, I talk about public adjusters all the time. What part of town are you in?
We're in Monument, Colorado.
Call
Colorado.
Paragon Services.
Paragon Services, okay.
Matt Stanford. Matt. Give him the number. Do you have it offhand?
Yeah, it's 7. Yeah, I'll pull it up.
719-726-0020.
And what's really good for this guy in this circumstance, whatever he has already got from the insurance company, that $600,000, Matt doesn't get any of that. He's only going to get money from the additional money he gets, and it's a tiny percentage.
I would call him and just get them to represent you.
Okay. Very good.
It's all on contingency. 719-726-0020. Do it now, and then call us and let us know. Now, this U.S. Mortgages complaint here, Dustin, what's going on with U.S. Mortgages? You were refining, and what went wrong?
We're actually doing a new purchase, Tom.
Oh, new purchase. Sorry. Okay. New purchase. And what happened?
And we actually spoke about this a few months ago. I called in, and then somebody called me back. Was going to do some investigative work, but never reached out back out
Well,
to
hold
me.
on. That's not right. I don't know who we assigned it to, but tell me what happened. You used U.S. Mortgage, and what happened?
We used U.S. Mortgages to secure a new home loan for us.
Yeah.
Back in July 2021. Everything was going smoothly up until closing time, and then all of a sudden, issues started to pop up. You know, you got to pay this off, you got to pay that off, you got to do this, you got to do that. And after time, the manager finally called and said, "I'm sorry on behalf of U.S. Mortgages, we mishandled your loan file." They basically dropped the ball on our loan file, lost our earnest money.
Oh, hold on. You actually lost the contract? Wait a minute. So they withdrew the contract. Hold on. This is big deal. Hold on.
Or one of them. Don't they have insurance too? Aren't they?
Yeah, but Dan, errors and omissions, but I don't.
Well, I'm just going off what the guy said. They acknowledge now.
Yeah. Until we call
This report is sponsored by College Invest.
Sounds like a job for Brad O'Brien.
Yeah, it could be. Hey, this would be good for Brad to weigh in on.
There is one accident, though, to watch for eastbound 70 approaching Brighton Boulevard, slowing traffic back to I-25. Off highway, a crash at Quincy and Buckley. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. A dry today, no more snow, clearing skies, but still cold. A high of only 19 tonight.
I don't know why people, when they feel something's turning down like that and it's going, you know, a right way, they don't. Well, not only that, but start recording the conversation. You know,
That's a good point.
I mean, that's what you should. I'm doing that with local large car dealership right now, so I'm not doing it.
Not only will you be saving for college, you can earn a Colorado income tax deduction for 2022. Start saving today at collegeinvest.org.
Do you like to feel empowered? EMPOWER, empowered. Go to Empower Reverse Mortgage. It's really Mark and his team, and I know them well, and they will counsel you through a reverse loan. Empower Reverse. And let me tell you why. Empower Reverse is there to help you with a reverse loan. EmpowerReverse.com. What help do you need? First of all, picking the right one for you. If you need one at all, and it's either a lump sum, a line of credit, or monthly payments, you'll never be upside down in a reverse loan, especially when they're done properly. And I trust Empower Reverse Mortgage to take care of you. And also, because the mortgage is on a portion of the home almost always appraises for way more than the actual balance, and there's still equity at the end. Check them out, 833-502-3100. Reverse loans are very personal, and he'll take care of you at EmpowerReverse.com, 833-502-3100. You know who else will take care of you? David Ellis Jewelry. If you're looking to sell precious metals of any kind in bracelets, necklaces, tangled messes, mismatched earrings, broken watches, coin collections, he doesn't care. If it's metal, silver, gold, titanium, or platinum, whatever, they will pay you on the spot. 3rd and Clayton, DavidEllisJewelry.com. A company you can trust, a name you can trust in town, 40 years. 303-322-8779. 303-322-8779. 3rd and Clayton, David Ellis Jewelry. Turn that old junk into cash.
There are lots of places to get national news, but for the local stories that affect you most, count on Newsbreak's new email newsletter. Right now, listeners of this show will be entered for the chance to win $1,000 when they sign up for Newsbreak's brand new email newsletter at iHeart.com/Newsbreak. Get the top 5 news stories from your neighborhood.
It's an M series BMW, which is the high performance,
You have it done. They're usually they're pretty good people.
I mean, we're talking big deal. I'm using a pretty big attorney.
You suing them? What did they do wrong?
They lied about the work they did. I have proof. They
charge you for
they
work
charged
that,
it
for
charged
stuff
me for work they didn't do.
Like, give me an
I had
example.
admission, so I had a new wiring harness put in the door because the electrical went out on the the windows and everything. They said they put in a new wiring harness, paid $3,000 for it, just a module. Never did it. They spliced the wires. Then they came back to me asking for more money because there was nothing more to splice, and they ruined the module that was already
No
there.
shit.
Yeah, and my car's been there for over a year now. Yeah.
What years?
Over a year. It's now a 13 BMW X6M, which is
2013.
Yeah, and it's low mileage, 600 miles a month.
Tommy, Future Plane called again yesterday wanting proof of payments that you called about. They were like, they called to collect. I said, I know Tom handled all of that last week on the phone. And they said, well, do you have a transaction confirmation? I said, I don't, but Tom might. They emailed both of us yesterday, or this morning they did. I don't know if you saw
What
the
is
email.
it, the collection pay people?
They just say they're from Future Plan, and they said there's a past due on the account. I said, Tom called last
Where
week.
is? I don't have it.
Did it go into it's from an Eileen? It went to me and you this morning, like at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or something. Wonder if maybe it went into your spam.
Right now, for example, we've got
Try spam, not track, or unless you accidentally deleted it.
Eileen.
It's Eileen, and it literally says Future Plan across the subject. Like at 9 o'clock this morning, I think they sent it. Future.
Social Security questions? When should you start your benefits? 62, 67, 70,
Yep.
or when? What about benefits for a divorce or surviving spouse? So
I'll
many
look at
questions
spam
and
too.
such
That's what I love about podcasts. Is playing it.
I'm Mike Whitmore with Blue Haircut. We're inviting you to a free Social Security class on Tuesday morning.
50,000 plus a month.
For more information,
Really? For that exact reason, they don't want to hear the commercials. The podcast, to give you an idea, our show's 4 hours. How long do you think the podcast is?
So your week has got to be an hour and a half.
Nah, it's about 2 hours 20 minutes.
Yeah.
An hour and 40 minutes commercials.
I mean,
yeah. And we still have a few commercials, but very limited.
Yeah.
Should be in your inbox now. I forwarded it to you again. They sent it at 6 o'clock this morning.
It's like I wait on Hulu to watch most shows.
That email,
even though I can watch them on YouTube live, I'll wait till they hit Hulu because I don't have to watch the fucking commercials. Because I hate sitting there fast forwarding. It drives me insane.
You remember when TiVo came out?
They were the first one to have that.
It was.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Free market valuations of your home. They're complimentary, actually. They're really extensive, detailed pics, measurements, comparables to show what it will sell for on the open market. So you can know if you want to list it and what you can expect, which is usually above an appraisal. That's why an appraisal doesn't do it. Frank Duran, market valuations, 303-920-1622. Now, on this mortgage complaint, we have a real estate attorney we're going to talk to. If you could hold on, Dustin, we're going to try to get you some legal advice. 303-713-TALK. Now, Shane, you have a flooring issue. What's going on, Shane? What's happening?
Hey, so I had some flooring installed as part of a broader home remodel late last year, and it came from a local retailer, off I-25, Floor and Decor. Actually, the installer recommended them, and so make a long story short, when he left the house after doing the work, everything was great. And since then, there's been a specific area within the overall job that some of the butt joints have started to.
When did they do the flooring job, Floor and Decor?
So they didn't actually do it themselves. My installer did it.
Oh, you bought it? You bought the materials from Floor and Decor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the area in question? What's wrong with it?
So it's only a portion of the job. Not all of them are doing this, but essentially the
what kind of floor? What kind of floor, by the way? What kind of floor?
They call it a hard manufactured wood type flooring that they make in house.
It's a manufactured wood.
I emailed the pics.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like wood. It's the manufactured material, I guess.
Is it like a laminate? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And
so
what does your installer say? I want to look at the pics that you sent, but apparently, let me just see here. Okay, so there's an area, and what am I looking at? I'm looking at this area, and what's wrong with it?
So I sent several pics. One of them kind of shows.
Are you talking about the gap and all that? The gaps?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Okay, and are you
across all of them?
But you hired. I get it, man. I see it. You hired the installer.
Yes, sir.
So is the installer blaming the material?
Well, he called Floor and Decor and opened a case, so that they could send somebody out and just to see, what the problem is, because he says that he's done thousands of these jobs and there's been no issues, and he doesn't understand why this particular one is, splitting apart like this.
Okay, I get it. And he has no idea.
He doesn't know.
We need to get someone independent to look at it.
Tom, I have Buddy Mitchell on 6. He's already looked at the pictures.
Okay, good. Now, Buddy Mitchell, by the way, Simply Floors, Inc., just so you know, they're really good people. And they sell all kinds of floors. And he has great installers, and he has no dog in this fight, as they say. So let's see what he has to say.
Sure.
Buddy Mitchell at Simply Floors, Inc. Buddy, you looked at these pictures. I don't know if they can tell you the story, but can they?
Yeah, they tell me the story. Let me ask you, is it LVT or laminate?
Is it a luxury vinyl tile? Do you know what you actually bought, Shane? Is it a luxury vinyl tile, or is it an actual wood floor of some kind?
It's flooring that comes in planks and they snap together, and it's called Optimax.
Right.
That's their brand name.
Optimax?
Okay, I'm going to tell you, I believe it's LVT. I believe it's LVP is what it stands for. LVT stands for tile. LVP stands for plank. There's no difference. It's what is the material made out of. There are three things that I think Floor and Decor sell. Okay, I'm not sure about one. One is a snap together laminate. One is a snap together LVT, and one is a snap together engineered wood. Okay, engineered wood is where it's real wood on the top and it's like wood that snaps together. And I went out on a claim not for Martino, just a homeowner called me and said, "Hey, my Floor and Decor put this in, and it's horrible. Come look at it." And it's
wait, Shane. Shane, what's the brand name? That'll tell us.
It's Optimax.
Optimax.
I had emailed Suzanne the PDF of the product as well. I don't know if it came through yet, but yeah, Optimax is their brand name.
I'm
Optimax.
not sitting in front of a computer. It's a private label by Floor and Decor. Floor and Decor takes products and totally private labels them.
It looks like it says Optimax here. I thought
5G lock system, eco-resilient flooring. That's all it indicates on here.
Resilient is LVT, so it's LVT. Does it say on the end of the box what the thickness of it is, what the millimeter is? Not the wear layer, not the MIL, but the MM, the metric.
Did you send it to me where I can see it or not?
I can, Tom. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's not a problem. Let's send you the PDF, and you can look at it, buddy. But what difference does it make? Does it matter? Does it matter what it is? What do you think is wrong with it?
It's a floor prep issue. I was trying to get to the bottom of it really quick. Number one, if it's laminate and it's like a 12 millimeter laminate, then it's probably the product. If it's a 12 millimeter wood, it's probably a humidity issue in the house. And if it's like a 5 millimeter LVT, it's probably a floor situation. Is this over concrete or a wood, or is it like on the second story of a house where you have a basement underneath it or a crawl space on wood?
There's a crawl space. It's just on the flooring of a single floor.
It's not on concrete. Does it seem like an installer problem or more likely a floor problem?
It is the subfloor problem. And I'm having issues with it right now with LVT. Right now we've been going out and repairing a lot of these. The repair is really easy.
But the subfloor is the installer, right?
Nope. Well, it is, but let me just say this. So I started having these issues with the Shaw product. So I brought the Shaw trainer to my showroom and set him down. And I said, how do I test for it? And nobody's even invented a test for it. I believe it's a product issue that the manufacturer, it's all LVTs that are really thin or don't have a good locking system. Let me just say this. Think about how houses are built, Tom, okay? 2 by 10, 16 inches on center with a piece of plywood over them, over a crawl space or over a basement.
Right.
Okay? That whole floor, if it's built right, is structurally strong enough for there not to be deflection, right? Deflection is when I step on the plywood.
No, I get it.
The plywood moves, and if the floor moves too much, it's going to separate on the ends like he's seen in his pictures.
So
the whole house,
it would be
80% of the house, 90% of the house can be right, but there could be a soft spot in a plywood floor.
Yeah, but is that the product's problem then?
No, the people that make the product are going to say no, it's your subfloor, and therefore your installer should have checked the subfloor. But when you go and you say, okay, how do I check the subfloor? They say, we don't know.
Okay, hold on. We get it. We need to figure out who he goes after. Hold on.
This is crazy.
Folks are worried about Darlene, want to know if she's okay.
Who's Darlene?
I don't know who she is.
With the door?
Yeah, with the door. I think.
Is it
the door?
The door lady, yeah, with the gap.
From yesterday, remember?
The gap in the wall.
The gap in the wall?
Well, on the edge of the door.
Oh, the nut.
Yeah. Who am I talking about?
Didn't she hang up on you? Or am I thinking of the other one? We had two back-to-back.
No. You're talking about the way
who had the doctor next door.
Yeah.
And the doctor was hanging his junk out in the car.
Indecent exposure. What?
Okay, is that who you're talking about? Are you talking about...
Darlene, I think, was the doctor.
Yeah, that was her.
Hold on, guys.
The neurologist who was checking his own...
BlakeHarrisLaw.com is the name of the estate planning firm we all use here, and we use him as our expert on the air, Blake Harris. Whether you need a simple will or maybe combine it with a trust, or you need a beneficiary's deed to leave a home to someone the right way, and I say the right way because people make so many mistakes trying to do it themselves and save money, and they end up spending so much money in taxes and stuff. Get it done the right way. Blake Harris Law. The great news is he'll talk to you and give you answers free of charge. If you hire him, he'll quote flat rates up front for whatever he does for you. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Hey, the Art of Granite will give you a price on the phone right now if you tell him what you want for your countertops. It doesn't have to be granite. He does any natural stone, also man-made materials. Here's the great news. All of the materials are wholesale to you from the Art of Granite, and he'll also fabricate and install while he tears out and hauls away all that other stuff free of charge. He does the bathroom vanity free when you do the kitchen. Get your price on the phone. TheArtOfGranite.com, 303-386-5919, 386-5919. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. And what makes it ideal? Well, first, they have salaried loan officers that try to find the best match for you, not for them. In other words, what do you need, a 15 or 30 or anything in between? You can pick whatever term you want. And then you can choose to take money out, cash out. You can choose to shorten your term. Maybe you can choose to lower your payment, a combination thereof. Maybe you want to pay off some high-interest debt. Ideal Home Loans will help you with that for sure. And they have the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. Think about that. They also have their pre-approval, which puts that money aside for you. It's like a cash deal. When you find the house, they can close within days. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. That's 303-867-7000.
Man, I am happy to tell you about the...
There's some guy flashing. What was the thing?
Okay, the lady calls complaining about a couple of her neighbors.
Yeah.
The one guy is out washing his car, and I guess he's got on shorts or something, and his pants are coming down, okay, while he's doing it. And she's calling it, she's saying that he's exposing himself. We're asking her, what do you see?
I got you.
Kevin Matthews wants us to give Darlene his number. Now, the situation is that she's in this neighborhood that's relatively upended in terms of the values. She bought her property at what, around?
Well, she said she's been there for 40 years.
She's been there for 40 years, so it's like she bought it dirt cheap, and now it's worth, who knows?
In that neighborhood, it's worth a hell of a lot.
In what neighborhood is it?
In Hilltop.
Oh, in Hilltop for sure. Yeah. So,
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
So she's complaining about this guy and another neighbors, but she's been there 40 years.
She doesn't like the people that are moving in?
No, she's complaining about the guy the doctor washing his car. His junk is out, I guess, as far as she's concerned. But these guys are threatening to go marry her for that capital gain. Yeah, and then give her my number.
I have a couple cousins that grew up in Hilltop, and then I've got a couple cousins who have bought in Hilltop. And man, I mean, that area, just the amount of money some of those houses are going for is ridiculous. Just for the land, just for the plot.
And a lot of times they'll just cut the house down and build a new one.
I have one of my best friends, best man at my wedding. He's got 2 properties over in Mayfair, 8th Colorado-ish area, and
8th Colorado is a lot of money, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, any place in Denver nowadays, you're gonna make a fortune.
Yeah. His next door neighbor knocked down. They have no yard anymore, no front yard or backyard. And I mean, I think the house is going to sell for I think they're already under contract. I think it's going to sell for like 1.7 or something. He told me.
Wow.
Yeah, and he bought his house at $400,000.
They'll make a tidy $1.5 million profit on it.
Yeah. My buddy Nick, he's the best man at my wedding. We've been friends since we were like 6 years old, and he's everything he does is gold. It's amazing.
That's a Midas touch, huh?
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Tell him I've got a bag of iron pennies. I wanted to touch him.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Listen, Buddy Mitchell, let me just go back to him. We don't have a lot of time. Buddy, you say whose fault is it, or no one's? Or is it going to be debatable till the end of time?
It's going to be debatable to the end of time.
Okay.
It's whoever wants to point the finger at whatever, but it's super easy to fix.
How?
Okay, so let's just say the first reason is one of the reasons it could be happening is that the end of just a few boards was damaged, that the locking system doesn't work. It's really hard for an installer to see that. He's supposed to see that, but it's almost impossible for him to see that. So you take a piece of super glue, you take a little super glue, you drop it in on the tongue, and you take a board that you've wrapped with that cloth that keeps your pans from sticking in your, in your cupboard, like a non-slip cloth.
Yes.
You wrap a 2x4 in that. You drop a piece of super glue right there in the end joint, just a little bit, and you put that on there and you snap it back together. If another place down the line opens, you just keep going until you get to the wall. Okay? It's either the floor is not perfectly flat, or there's damage to the end of the board and it shouldn't have been that board, or you have a soft spot in your plywood that's 80% of your house is fine, but there's one little soft spot, and when you step on it, it separates.
In all of those things you mentioned, buddy, I don't hear a problem with the manufactured floor. I hear either I hear all the problems with the house.
It's either the house or the installer, and let me just tell you, Tom, I'm running into this on floors that are really thin. It's a problem with LVT that is now known in the industry that we didn't know a couple years ago. And when they started selling cheaper and cheaper material, they took LVT, and at the time when it first came out, it was about 3/8 of an inch to a 1/2 inch thick. And because of shipping costs and the prices going up, they started making it thinner and thinner to get the material down in cost. And what arose is soft spots in plywood floors, okay? Those soft spots, piece of plywood, it's a plywood manufacturer on a house built in 1978. 90% of the home's fine, and 1 or 2 spots in the house, you step on it, and the plywood gives a little too much.
All right, so here's how I want to leave it. Here's how I want to leave it. Shane, here's what I'd like you to do. And, buddy, we always appreciate you, man. We always appreciate SimplyFloorsInc.com for the best in floor coverings. I mean that. And the best prices, best install. Shane, have your installer call Buddy. He is good enough, even though you didn't buy it from him. He will tell your installer how they correct it. That's what you do. And if your installer says, no, it's not my fault, well, it may not be his fault, okay? But it's the house. It's not the product, most likely. So don't waste your time fighting with everybody. Get it fixed. It's not that big a deal. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
I'm sorry, I pressed the button by mistake. Oh, God. Did you see that one, Anna, Inventing Anna? Did you see Inventing Anna?
No, what is it?
The one about the heiress that built New York millionaires out of money and time.
There was I think they did it, because I watched about an hour documentary on that. I think it was 60 Minutes. I didn't see the Inventing Anna.
It's a true story. They say
I was trying to finish it, but then I couldn't think of inventing for her name, so I was lost for it. And then I got on that 10 stars. That's crazy.
How far are you into that?
8.
I finished first season, started second last night.
Of what?
Totally different than what I thought.
I got to 1/8 last night, and
wait till you see. What's the end? Is it 9? Is the end?
What are you talking about? What is
season 1?
10 stars.
Oh my God! Is it gruesome?
I never even heard of it.
They're really weird.
It started slow, but then when his crazy started showing up,
nuts. He's a fucking crazy
dude. You give him a little liquor, he'll fucking do anything.
And he doesn't remember any of it.
Checking out his
He
wife.
doesn't remember that guy.
Checking out his wife. She sat there and drank with him and told him what to go do. Whoa.
I know. She's like, hey, this motherfucker needs to be killed. Have a drink.
She's like his handler.
I know it.
But you have definitely not seen the last one then.
I have.
For first season.
10 stars.
Buddy Mitchell wanted you to call him.
I happened by mistake.
He had
And I
a
said,
bunch
Mark,
of
check
scraps
this
and
out.
jobs that he wants to do some lives about doing some jobs with those scraps. I didn't quite
Who does?
understand. Buddy Mitchell.
Okay, whatever you want.
Did you ever see the series Live?
It's that easy. Whatever.
Okay.
See, you know what? The last couple of years with COVID, I have almost completely given up
What are you?
TV.
Sorry,
Giving up?
I know.
Just
It's
the
weird.
opposite
I
with
lost
me.
60 pounds too over COVID.
lost weight.
I did.
Most
I told
people gain weight.
I know. I told my wife, I'm either coming out of this 100 pounds heavier or 50 pounds lighter.
He's got a new baby.
And I did.
Oh,
I
she
know. I
is
saw her.
Cute.
I saw her little picture of her smiling. She was so cute.
Oh, what are we doing about the future plan thing? Is that all on you?
No, yeah, I gotta figure out. I am so pissed at that.
Okay, I just didn't want your plan to get canceled and stuff. You know, that's what they're threatening.
This inventing Anna, as crazy as I don't know what, and 10-star, I'm like, dude.
The last show I really got into was Ozark. Did you ever see that?
I love
Ozark. I haven't watched
new
it.
season going right now.
Yeah, I started a couple of them, but that's
Ozark is one of the best.
yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good.
On Ukraine, we will start to see those prices come much closer to the United States prices. But for now, the time and expense.
I'll tell you, I've been recommending this one show. Everybody here has watched it, and they loved it. It's called Atypical.
Atypical.
Yeah, right? Your wife will love it, and you will. You have to watch it.
Okay.
Atypical is a wonderful.
My wife has been begging me to.
Oh, that's a great
show
one.
with her because I'm just kind of. It's not
will-
dark.
It's just great. It's so heartwarming.
Not normal.
I love the story.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
You'll
It's a
love
good
it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna text her right now.
There's no violence.
Whoa.
You know, you guys, the first show that got me into shows was Breaking Bad. You guys ever seen that?
I don't like it.
What? I love it.
Well, the only person in Denver that didn't like Breaking Bad.
Didn't like it.
What about Better Call Saul? You ever watch that
Yep.
one?
Yeah.
Saw the
And you
first
liked
season.
that one?
It was all right.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd watch that on the treadmill. It's the only show I'd watch just on the treadmill. It was all right.
See, I watched Breaking Bad 3 times back to back. It's great. It's so good. You know, my wife, she was getting her master's in New Mexico. And so I flew down there. At the time, we weren't married. And so I flew down there to visit her. And I made her go on a tour. I made a little, on Google Maps, I pinned, a bunch of different places around Albuquerque to go to and go to all the spots where they filmed Breaking Bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great.
Where'd she go?
We show up to the house, where they throw the pizza on the roof.
Oh, yeah.
We show up to the house.
Did you go to that house?
Yeah. We show up, and there's a little old couple that own the house. And I mean, they got.
And they're used to people coming in.
They're used to, yeah. There's a little old guy that's in a rolling chair like this in his driveway. He loves people coming out. But the lady, she hates it. She hates all the attention. Because I guess a lot of people go there. And
Oh yeah, a lot of people go there and take pictures.
Not only that, but
they throw
pizzas
pizza
on the roof.
Right. Why? Because of because of Breaking Bad, where the pizza went on the roof. It's just a fucking crazy. It's a crazy scene.
Yeah, but why at their house?
Because that's the house. That's the actual house.
That's where it was filmed.
It was filmed just like in Boulder.
Their fault for letting it film there.
Just like in Boulder, where Mork and Mindy, the exterior shots for Mork and Mindy in Boulder, people fucked that house up. I mean, they were there all the time.
Yeah, but that was a retirement. This old couple, they made out. They made out some. They got some dough.
Well, in Seinfeld, Mark, the restaurant they ate in?
Moe's.
They
Or
filmed,
Monk's.
they filmed the outside, but the inside was a stage set.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's not really called Monk's.
Right.
Look at I Am. I need
You ever
that
started
code.
Seinfeld from the beginning?
What?
You ever started Seinfeld
Oh,
from
yeah.
the beginning? It's terrible the first couple seasons.
Well, it took a while for them to go into it.
I like it. You're right, though. When I go back and start over, I usually start on 3.
It's on Netflix right now.
You'll have a team of
Yeah, I know.
help you every step
I fall asleep to it every night.
surprises and unanswered questions.
Like, for real.
My wife can't understand it.
It's not much to understand.
I know, but she's like, why do you like it?
She's looking for logic. She's looking for something other than nonsense.
That's my nonsense, I guess. Seinfeld. It's reality TV.
That's right. 1%
Because
on a 24-month CD. To get that higher rate, you typically
he made me ride from Colorado to California while sitting in the back of a van playing Seinfeld.
He was probably just laughing and
He was having a ball.
Hi, my name is Joe Cordell. Sometimes in divorce, courts require the higher earner to pay to the other party what's called spousal support or alimony.
And that was in the 90s.
Can be modified in certain circumstances.
That long ago?
But such modifications are often complicated.
It was still on TV, dude.
AG says you got to make it through the first 4 or 5 episodes of Breaking Bad, and then it just becomes.
I couldn't make it through 4.
But you got to.
You were on the threshold.
Because I was on the edge too. It took me, like you say, AG, it took you 8 years. It didn't take me 8 years, but it took me a long time to finally sit down and watch enough of it to like say, oh, let me see where this is really going.
You know, I had foot surgery. I had broken my foot playing lacrosse, and so I had to have surgery, and I got laid up. And I was like, what is this Breaking Bad everybody's talking about? And that's when I got into it. And I didn't regret it, Mark.
No.
I didn't regret it.
Oh. What is it? Experian, TransUnion, who's the other one?
Equifax.
It's a pain in the ass when you got to pull your freezes off, man.
Tell me about it.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's like put money in the bank when there's so many security.
Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Renew Home Innovations, one of the best bathroom remodeling companies you can have. They do beautiful showers and tubs and tub shower combinations. By the way, a lot of people, I've moved away from a tub shower combination at all. They have a separate tub. I have a separate tub, and then the shower can be beautiful. And Nick and his team at Renew Home Innovations, they make a big rectangular shower where that ugly tub shower was, and they can make it with beautiful wall systems, walk-in, no thresholds, great for people with disabilities, with walkers, wheelchairs, or just anyone. And they have grab bars anywhere you want them, benches anywhere you want them. You custom build these showers, or the tubs, or both, and you'll love them. RenewHomeInnovations.com. They can start immediately, no supply chain issues, no maintenance wall systems, American Standard fixtures. RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000. Special financing and special discounts for seniors and military and veterans, 303-904-2000. Okay. That is a mouthful, but it's a great company, RenewHomeInnovations.com. Now, let's work on this. I want to bring something up now. When it comes to floor coverings, we've had this problem before. Last hour we had a problem. I just want to recap. With luxury vinyl tile, Buddy Mitchell at Simply Floors, Inc. says people have been complaining, not necessarily about him because they found a way to get around it and to fix it, but luxury vinyl tile is so thin now that if the floor is not perfect, you're going to have a little separation sometimes in certain joints. But there's a way to fix it. And again, you have to have an excellent installer who recognizes when the subfloor is not perfect and how to compensate or how to correct it afterwards. So Simply Floors, Inc. you should start with, because those are the ones who have that expertise. SimplyFloorsInc.com. Let's talk to Rex. Rex, you have a parking ticket that you sent in to us, right? You sent us the paperwork. I wanted to see something here, right? Did you?
It's all in your email.
Okay, so your wife got a parking ticket for a Kenworth truck in Compton, California. She doesn't own a truck and never was in Compton. And then she got a notice for an increased amount when she ignored it, and she paid it. She paid it. She paid it to get over.
Finally, she did. She just finally wanted to get them off her back, and fortunately, Tom, it wasn't a lot of money, but yeah, I think it's a principle thing. And
so it wasn't. Okay, I'm going to tell you, this wasn't from the city of Compton, just so you know. It was not from the city of Compton. It's from a collection agency representing the city of Compton.
One of the other ones, though, is the violation.
Oh, okay. So the first one. Then they handed it to a collector, so apparently they did. And they simply made a mistake. You were never there. So
that's right.
Well, that's done through, and are you in Kansas?
Yes, I live in Kansas. I'm actually talking to you from Texas right now, but I live in Kansas.
Okay. And you listen to the show there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So listen, man, I think that what's going on is obviously a mistake. You shouldn't have paid it. How much did you pay?
$110.
Yeah. Well, I would stop payment. How long ago did you do it?
Well, it was a money order. We had to send a money order.
Okay,
And,
well, you can't
so
stop payment on that. You're never going to get it back.
No.
The collection agency,
I doubt it.
They'll never give it back. They won't let go of that for nothing.
I just think people should be aware that something like this could happen because it wasn't right. And I agree we shouldn't have paid it, but
see,
you know,
here's ultimately what happens.
Notices.
Ultimately, what happens is they have no jurisdiction and they can do nothing to you. And they're not going to spoil your credit. A parking ticket's not going to ruin your credit at all.
No.
Because you're disputing the parking ticket. I guess you just fell for it. They did a shotgun. You know, they made a mistake somewhere. Somewhere they made a mistake that linked you. I would be interested though, Mark. I can't see it because it's sideways. This stupid thing. I couldn't if I open it on another computer and then twist it around. But is there a license tag on there? If so, we could run that tag number and then find out who's the registered owner and where the similarities are.
I am looking.
The owner.
Yeah, there's a license plate.
Company.
But I don't know how we're going to run a tag from California.
I think we have people that can do that. No? Wait, we don't have anyone that can run a California plate?
I can check, but I don't think so.
And I don't know that there's a picture of a license plate anyway, or a license
There's
number.
no picture. There's a number of a license plate.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And see, I would have made the argument.
Do you know what your license plate is at that time in history?
Well, you know, when we first received it, I read her, and I told them that
I don't care about that. What we care about is this. Here's what we care about. What is your license plate number? If you get it to us, we're going to see if it's similar to this license plate.
This one's 184417.
Okay, no, it wouldn't be anything similar to that.
Okay.
In our county, we have 3 letters and then 3 numbers, and I have several tags, but there wouldn't be anything similar to that, Tom.
All right. Well, it's unfortunate because you already paid it. And when it comes to innovative collection services, they're not going to give up money. I mean,
I guess not.
I mean, they're just not going to give it up. They don't care. They don't care.
I think people should just be aware that this kind of thing can happen, and maybe
I hope they are. I don't even
know.
know how. What I'd love to know is how it happened. I am really perplexed. How did it happen?
I'm also confused with, excuse me, young man, I'm also confused with how Tustin and Compton get in the same conversation on this ticket. Tustin is 25 miles away from Compton.
Well, how did it get in the conversation? I mean, is it both?
He keeps saying Tustin, Compton, California.
It's Compton. There's no Tustin anywhere. Where do you get Tustin from, man? Hello?
My wife said it's on there somewhere.
Okay. Well, we don't see Tustin. We don't see
I'm confused. I'm just interested in how it could have possibly happened.
I don't know how it could happen because here's the way I look at it. For your wife to show up as a registered owner, it would have had to have a Kansas plate.
Yeah.
Did this Kenworth have a Kansas plate? Does it say? Does it say what's?
Probably did if it was owned by a Kenworth dealership in outside of Wichita, Kansas. It probably did have a Kansas
What makes
plate.
you talk about a dealer outside of Wichita, by the way?
Well, our sheriff checked on that, and he ran as good a check as he could.
Okay. So it was a Kansas plate.
Yeah, I think it probably was.
Okay, so it's a Kansas plate, and somehow came back as her as the registered owner.
Yes.
So they ran the Kansas plate wrong. It's that simple. I mean, I don't know how else.
Okay.
But it would have had to have been similar to yours. I don't know. I'm perplexed.
I don't know what kind of I don't know what kind of a plate's on a big truck like that. But like I say, all the tags that we have 3 letters.
Got it. Yeah, you said
3
that.
numbers.
Got it. Okay, man. It's crazy. Yeah, things like this can happen, but how? How do they pick your wife out as the owner of this vehicle with a parking violation? And by the way, people, if you don't owe it, don't pay it. That's what I say. Let them fight for it. You don't owe it, you don't pay it. Dustin has a problem with U.S. mortgages, and we're getting our real estate attorney on, I hope, to address this because...
Haven't heard from him yet, Tom.
Okay, but we want to weigh in on it anyway, Dustin, right after this.
Your car is worth more right now than any time in the past, and that's pretty exciting. Trade in, trade up, trade down, whatever your needs are, the Sharpest Ride in Edgewood, they're going to give you the best offer hands down. And the Sharpest Ride is so easy to get to, just located minutes from I-25 in Santa Fe. And with the best appraisals in town from their trained buyers, you know they'll always be taken care of.
Dustin's in freaking Orange County, I believe.
All Rex had to do was ride on the...
Go to the Sharpest Ride's best customer service in town. Get more info at thesharpestrides.com.
Tom.
John Fuller is a personal injury attorney, a small firm on purpose. It's a small firm, and he deals directly with all of his clients. He doesn't want you to be just a number. And with a personal injury, that's what you want. Big doesn't always mean better. John Fuller has the stats to prove it. In fact, if you use John Fuller, you'll get his personal cell phone and personal attention. You can also call before hiring him with no obligation, by the way. He works on contingency. He only collects if he collects for you. But you don't have an obligation to hire him when you call for free legal advice following an accident of any kind with an injury. Call him, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. Ask your questions, 597-4500. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, what do? They help you with your retirement plan from whenever you start planning to the time you execute it, and it's never too late to get them on your side. The father, son, and son-in-law team do it all. It's a comprehensive approach, and that's very important because they don't do just the investing part, and they don't try to sell you insurance, and they don't try to sell you anything, but those things are available, plus they can look at what you already have with taxes, Social Security, Medicare, supplements, insurance, annuities, long-term care, estate planning, all of your investments, and they take this comprehensive approach and see what is working for you and what's not, and how it all fits together. And they are upfront on how they charge. Some things have commissions built in, some things are flat fees, and what they'll do is quote upfront before they do anything. In fact, they'll meet with you as many times as possible for you to feel completely comfortable with them. They'll meet by Zoom. You can go to them. They'll come to you in person. rpcenter.com. Get them on your side for a comprehensive retirement plan. You will love these people. I know I do. rpcenter.com, 970-663-3211. That's 970-663-3211. And as part of a retirement plan, you may want a reverse loan. Here's how I feel about reverse loans. When they're done properly in the beginning, whether it's a line of credit, a monthly payment, or a lump sum, whatever you need, when they're done properly, they can be very valuable retirement tools. If you're 62 or older and you're looking for someone, ApprovalReverse.com is a company we know and trust and have for years. That's Joan Sullivan and her team at ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528, 771-3528.
It's replacement window season. If your windows are drafty,
Champion is offering buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Champion builds their own windows right here in the USA. We make the process easy. We help you choose the best design options for your home. We then build your project in our very own factory. Our install team manages your project every step of the way, and it's all backed by our lifetime guarantee. Turn your house into your dream home with more livable space in the new Champion sunroom, or enhance your curb appeal with new seating. Now 30% off. Don't wait, this sale won't last long. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and 30% off sunrooms and siding, plus 60 months low-interest financing options. Visit ChampionSaveNow.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. All because of our regular prices.
They're equating this with that Richard Gere movie where his wife had the affair and got a parking ticket.
Say it again.
They're equating this with the Richard Gere movie where his wife had an affair in the city and got a parking ticket. Richard went to the apartment and found a guy who accidentally killed him.
After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs. The first
Now, the Smarty Pants doing that.
Allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clear your nose with Navage?
Didn't you get in trouble?
More like fun.
Ever since what?
Ever since the gerbil.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah. He was married to Cindy Crawford at the time, too, I believe.
And he shoved a gerbil up his ass.
That's the story. That's the story.
How does that
I'll never live it down, but it wasn't true.
Well, how does a rumor like that get
You have
started?
to make up the most
So you're saying,
so
you're saying it must be true then, aren't you?
It's so
So I'm
bizarre.
gonna make one up on you then. It must be true. Fuck, it must be true.
How do you know it's not true?
That's the thing. That's how it starts.
Well, you can't prove a negative. That's the problem.
That's right. That's the problem.
You know, well, somebody's got to.
It seemed to really fuck with him, though, didn't it?
Oh,
I thought there was some newscaster.
He's already got so much against him as an actor, right?
Who's that?
And then he's got millions of people saying that. Richard Gere. Oh.
Here, I'm just gonna.
Plus, he was married to the supermodel at the time, Cindy Crawford.
Was it a hamster or what was it?
Gerbil. I mean, they're the same thing, right?
The little cute rats. The cute rats. Gerbils.
No such thing.
I know. I'm trying to figure out how you get it in.
All right, here's the fact check.
Major League Baseball and the Players Association appear to be making progress, and there'll be network Saturday reports that the agency should begin as soon as
I heard you say you go to church, man. You need to go today.
Custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at
Unfaithful. Okay, that was the name of the movie.
Blinds are blind or easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for a new blind. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
When the news broke, story of the day, story of the year, AOA was all over it. Hey, man, we got a chance to win the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson is the new starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos.
Yes, it will.
It's called gerbling.
Yeah, gerbling. Yeah, it was a thing during that time. No,
it's a verb now.
It was a verb then. They made it. It became.
Hi, Tom Martino.
Tino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-255. Okay, so Dustin, that you say that the mortgage company admitted mismanaging your file. Now, as a result, you have lost the sale. They would not extend the contract, and you lost your earnest money of how much?
$5,000.
That is incredible to me. Now, U.S. Mortgage.
You know what's even more incredible, Tom, is that this has happened to other people. So when we first went with U.S. Mortgages, we were notified we were renting a property. We didn't have much time to do research.
Who were you dealing with at U.S. Who were you dealing with at U.S. Mortgage?
The loan originator was Brian Howell, and the owner's name is David Shemansky.
Right. He does a lot of advertising, and he's loud and bold.
He does. Yeah, he's loud and obnoxious, and
right.
I've spoken to his attorney, and his attorney has admitted he's a very stubborn guy. I tried to file an E&O insurance claim on this guy. He wouldn't give me his policy number or his carrier name, and the attorney told me
sue him in small claims court. How do you lose?
Yep. So we have a file. We have a lawsuit in small claims court. We submitted the paperwork on January the 5th. I tried to set up mediation as ordered by the court 14 days prior to the trial date, which I did, and then he elected to use an attorney. So now I'm in the spot of, well, I need to find representation because I don't want to go up against the attorney by myself.
How much would he owe you?
He owed me $5,000.
And because of $5,000, he hired an attorney.
He hired an attorney, and I pulled his record on Colorado courts, Tom, and this guy's got 30 lawsuits in the past 10, 12, 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know what you do. I love what I've been listening to you since I was a kid, and I know if you can't take this guy down, I'm going to work my heart out.
I don't know. Hold on.
This guy.
I don't know if this is worth, as you say, taking him down, but he should make good on something if he truly was responsible. Just because he hired an attorney doesn't mean that you still can't fight it. The relaxed rules of evidence and the informality still remains because you filed first in small claims court. Did he kick it to county court?
His attorney asked if we wanted to change venue due to the time constraints in small claims court.
And what did you say? No.
I said no.
Good. So
also,
you got a court date then.
I tried to set up mediation, and his attorney declined the mediator that I suggested. he wants to use one of the court-appointed resolution specialists.
That's what you should do. That's what you should do.
Yep. Okay, so that's what we're doing, and he said that he is unavailable during our scheduled mediation time. He can't attend, so he filed a motion for continuance. I actually just got an email from him right here asking. So the judge ordered the motion. He granted the motion for continuance. He said he wanted to touch base and try to specify dates for mediation and try to reschedule a trial.
Well, it's really sad. What did they do, according to you, to mismanage the file?
They did not advise us of anything. They basically, there's a statute, a Colorado statute, that outlines loan originators' relationships to borrowers. And we feel that they have violated every one of these statutes that's outlined by the Colorado Revised Statute Law or civil law. That costs us our earnest money. I mean,
what did they actually do wrong? I know I'm asking, what did they do wrong?
So we didn't have our 2020 tax transcripts approved by the IRS yet to begin with.
Why is that their fault? Why, Dustin, why is that their fault?
Oh, it's not their fault, Tom, but they should have advised us that they can't get us a loan based on our not having our 2020
Hold
tax
on.
transcripts.
And had they done that, what would you have done?
We would have walked away.
And you would have lost your $5,000.
No. We would have got our $5,000 because the loan termination date was still within reason. It was still prior, so we could have walked away.
I see.
I talked to a few other loan originators, Tom, and they all told us the same thing. And I've got 3 of them willing to stand up for me in court if subpoenaed to verify that without those tax transcripts, we were ineligible to.
But how do you know that How do you know though that How do you know that U.S. Mortgage? How do you know that they didn't think you were going to get it? Like what gave them the understanding you couldn't get it?
I've got an email right here from the loan originator, Tom. This is before our loan termination deadline. It says, "I'm sorry, I'm not 100% confident that we can get past this tax transcript obligation."
Hold on. And that email was sent before your walkaway date.
That was sent before the walkaway, correct?
Well, then how can you say you weren't warned? The guy just said, "I'm not sure we."
Tom, he told us. He said, I spoke to the owner, Mr. Szymanski, and he approved this. He said we can get past this. And come to find out, that's a federal guideline. That's not up to Mr. Szymanski. That's up to the federal government.
You have an email saying, "Don't worry about it. Basically, we can get past it."
I got an email stating from the loan originator, "Don't worry about this. We can get past it."
Whoa.
Hold
on. Tom, you have a comment on this. Go ahead, Tom. What's your comment?
Well, as a real estate agent, the realtor on the buy side of the contract, normally you write that loan termination date as close as you can to closing. So it should have been, I do mostly 2 or 3 days before. So I'm just wondering how they dropped the ball in the last 2 days before closing.
And is okay. I mean.
Well, you know, it's funny. I got emails here.
So what are you saying, Tom? Hold on. Guys, hold on.
Yeah.
Tom, the guy who called in, you're in real estate. You said, how did they drop the ball 2 or 3 days before closing? Here's what I'd like to ask you, Tom. Do you think it was the mortgage company's fault that they should have warned him we're not going to be ready, walk away?
Yes.
Okay.
But on the other hand, as a real estate agent, the real estate agent should have been in contact with the mortgage company to make sure, because you represent the buyer.
So your buyer's agent, Dustin, might have something to do with this too.
Yeah, and it's funny because he made a comment as we were searching for homes. He said, "You guys are not responsible for your lost earnest money. It's either on the mortgage company or on me." He made that comment.
Yeah, well, why don't you go after him too?
He's next. I have more written proof and evidence from the mortgage company. I've got every documented email, text message.
Let's get Brent Ivinson on from Ideal Home Loans, or let's get Kurt Rogers, any one of them. Let's get them on and discuss this.
Hey, Mark, can you do these two? What? Joe Lazara and Ideal Home Loans. With Joe, talk about St. Patrick's Day. Thank you. I'm going to be right back, guys.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
We are actually looking at pretty decent drive times right now. Northbound I-225, looking good, 11 minutes with no delay between I-70 and I-25. And if you're traveling on I-25 and heading from C-470 out to downtown, 15 minutes, actually both directions, no delay, looking pretty good for you. I-70, same situation, moving along now without a big problem. Fox 21 weather forecast this afternoon, but we're getting cold. High of 19, tonight so 3. And sunshine for tomorrow and a bit warmer with a high reaching 34. Currently it's 17. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 6:30.
So you said 30 years ago you guys were in a van watching Seinfeld?
Not 30 years ago. What was it, 20 years ago, Mark?
You guys been working together that well?
These guys know.
Hold on, guys.
They know every episode of Seinfeld. They can recite it from memory.
All right, check it out. Interest rates are going up. I don't care if you think they are or not. You can just ask the feds. I'm not sure how much they're going to go up, but there is no doubt. If you have that high credit card debt or you have any kind of debt, maybe a car loan, you need to pull some of that money out of the house right now. It's never been a bigger time or a better time because interest rates are still low. And on top of that, everything's going up. Let's just face it. But here's what I love about Ideal Home Loans. In fact, we're probably going to have Brent on in a second to help this guy out with this other lender he's having issues with. But here's the bottom line. These guys have an interest rate guarantee. Think of this. If rates go down in the next 2 years, Brent and the gang over at Ideal Home Loans will actually refi you for free. Their credit optimization is unbelievable. Their custom term. You don't have to do a 30-year or a 15-year. You can do whatever term loan you want. Their pre-approval is literally like shopping with cash. You got to check these guys out. Go to idealhomeloans.com. The other thing they do, these people that they hire over there, you know what? They're not on any commission. They're actually paid a salary. They are there to find the best loan for you, and they're also a direct lender. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Now we have another holiday coming up. What does that mean? I don't care if it's Memorial Day, 4th of July, New Year's. You know what happens. People drink too much. It just happens. Maybe you're one of them. You don't intend to have too much to drink. You have a couple cocktails. You're out at St. Patty's Day, a few green beers, whatever it is. You don't think you're over the limit. You get pulled over. You end up failing a sobriety test. Man, you're facing a DUI. You need someone on your side. You need to call Joseph A. Lazera. I've known Joe, oh my God, 5, 6, 7 years plus. He's a great guy, but better than that, he is a great defense attorney. Anything from assault, DUI, you name it. If you're in trouble, you want to call Joe. We've also done the shopping for you. You want to write this number down, put it in your phone right now, because if you do get in trouble, you're going to want to have the number. 303-429-6200. Joseph A. Lazera, 303-429-6200. It's
After a first-round bye, the four-seed Buffaloes are back in action in the Pac-12 quarterfinals. Coverage begins at 3 on KOA, 850 AM, 94.1 FM, and iHeartRadio.
So many people have told me. You know, I have a friend who I'm pretty into Seinfeld too, but I have a friend who his name's Devin that I don't know how he does it, but he knows every episode from every season.
These guys do the same thing.
Unreal. He's got tabletop games like board games and stuff that are trivia, just
All about
obscure
Seinfeld?
knowledge, all about Seinfeld.
Wow.
I know them all.
Do you?
Mhm.
Oh man,
Mark knows them all.
I'm gonna have to get you together with this guy, Dev. I mean, he's
I know 2 other people like that.
yeah.
Yep.
Getting started is easy. Go online and enter your address at orchard.com. Takes just a couple of minutes.
How well do you know it?
I know it fairly well.
What kind of suit was Banya? What kind of suit did Banya
Versace.
give Jerry?
Versace, we don't.
No.
Or Armani. Armani.
And what was it in exchange for?
A spot in the comedy club.
A meal.
Oh, Mio.
Where did they attempt to have the first meal? There's a restaurant they met at the next evening.
Yeah.
What was the restaurant called?
I don't know.
Mandy's. What did Vanya order? And it wasn't
the
a
only
meal.
episode you know?
I know every episode. Soup's not a meal.
Yeah. Soup's not a meal, Jerry.
Now, if it was a stew.
I get nothing.
It's so dumb.
It's over your head.
It's not over my head. I understand everything you're saying. It's not funny to me.
It's just the most.
It's the most successful comedy show ever made.
Mark, is there a way we can do a combination referral-less endorsement contract for those? Because they do. I don't do one without a referral-less. Why don't I just combine it in my endorsement? I'm going to do that in my endorsement. Okay. Then it's done. You know, rather than fucking sending, because I don't do an endorsement without it. We do referral-less without endorsement.
Yeah, but no offense, you do a lot without a contract. That drives me insane.
Oh no, I know. Not anymore. I know.
Okay.
Oh no, I haven't done any. I've given them to Suze. They're on the server. I'm not doing anything.
Well, like the new reverse mortgage, I have the referral-less contract, but we don't have a signed contract for you.
He promised me he would get that back.
I know.
You're right. Okay, hold on. I just talked to him. He was waiting to talk to me.
Oh, God. Yeah, but he's the GOAT. I mean, who's not into Chappelle, right? I mean, did you see his last one, Six and Stones?
It was awesome.
How did he wrap that first joke all the way around to the
all the way around to the end? Just by starting where he started.
Oh, he's the GOAT though, for sure.
And a wordsmith and a sharpshooter.
Oh man.
I would
you
say,
ever
though,
want to get into an argument with him, though?
I would say back in the day, Eddie Murphy was better.
Eddie Murphy. So I grew up. I watched Eddie Murphy Raw and Eddie Murphy Delirious. Oh,
That was some of the best shit I've ever seen.
Raw and Delirious was both purple and red. Leather.
Oh man,
what was called?
Yeah. I've got them both on DVD.
Tom Martino
Chino here, 303-713-8255. Okay. Now, again, I want to get a comment from a guy in the mortgage business. I don't want a judgment. I just want a comment and an opinion on this. So, Dustin, hang on and listen to this, and let's see what Kurt Rogers at Affordable Interest Mortgage thinks of this. Kurt, if you were doing a loan for someone, by the way, have you been listening to the show?
I haven't had a chance today,
Good. Okay,
Tom. I've
good.
been in a couple meetings.
That's good. I want you to hear this from scratch without company names. If you were doing a mortgage for Dustin and you needed transcripts or you couldn't get it done from taxes, first of all, Dustin, I didn't know loans require tax transcripts. Do they, Kurt?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So, Dustin, which one were you having trouble getting?
We were having trouble getting 2020. So my 2020 income, I'm self-employed, and that loan was dependent on my 2020 income.
All right. Now, Kurt, if you were having trouble getting the 2020 tax transcript and you were getting up to loan deadline for his contract, I don't know how you would know that, but would you feel an obligation as you're approaching closing to let him know that so he can at least try to get out with his earnest money, or would you think, let's just keep moving forward?
Well, the way we do it is when I have a purchase contract, it has certain deadline dates, appraisal deadline dates, inspection deadline date.
So you actually read the contract?
Oh, yeah. And then you have a thing called a loan termination date. The issue with the loan termination date is if you go past that, the client's money goes hard. So if I don't have my tax transcripts in time for that clear to close on that date, I will let the realtors know that we need to either move it or cancel it because his money's going hard.
Kurt, that's an excellent answer. See, and he didn't hear this call. So if you didn't do that, if you said, don't worry about it, and he ended up losing his earnest money, would you feel partly responsible for that?
Well, yeah. First of all, I wouldn't let that happen because it's my responsibility, fiduciary responsibility, to take care of the client. He doesn't not necessarily know that his money's going to go hard that day, and he doesn't know what's causing the delay. It's my job to tell him. So, yeah.
And a good real estate broker.
You're the man, Kurt. You're the man.
And wouldn't a good real estate guy on his side or woman, a good real estate agent, also be on your case, Kurt, and tell him?
With the lender?
Well, yeah, I'm surprised that the mortgage broker didn't get beat up by both the selling agent and the listing agent as to get the clear to close to make sure we're past the loan termination date.
Well, it sounds to me.
Kurt, our buyer's agent, he was non-existent because we were he has a program, so he owns a rental property company up here in southern Colorado, and he has a program in place that if you use him as a buyer's agent, you can walk out of your lease at any time. So it's very, very misleading and enticing. I think when he gets these people from his tenant program, he just kind of sets them to the side. He doesn't do his best work because he knows that he's already got them in his back pocket.
Now here's what I want to know though, Dustin. Both of them. I'll tell you what, man. I think this mortgage company is beholden to you. I can't believe that David Szymanski at U.S. Mortgage is going to court with you over this. I can't believe it.
Tom, like I told you, I ran his Colorado court record. He's got 30 lawsuits in the last 15 years, man. He's been sued by up and down, left and right. He's been sued by the state of Colorado for domestic violence.
Oh, come on, man. I don't want to get into stuff that has nothing to do with your loan. He disconnected by mistake. Go after him if you have to.
I've already got a court date. He's already
I know. You got it. Here's the deal, okay? The bottom line is this guy, I think, did wrong in this case, or this processor, by not warning your people to walk away or extend the deadline. And we got an independent opinion from Kurt Rogers at Affordable Interest Mortgage. So that's really unfortunate. It really, really is. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, Robert, what is your issue with online grocery orders? Hello, Robert.
Yes, I just wanted to point out that when I go to the grocery store like King Soopers or Target or Walmart, I go in and I select my own items off the shelf. And or I go to the deli and get whatever I need at the deli.
Right.
It usually takes me 30 or 45 minutes to get done and checked out.
Okay.
But if you select buying it online,
right,
and they will pick it out for you,
right,
and bring it out to your car,
right,
at no charge.
Right.
It seems to me this is adding cost. Because I know it takes a lot of time to do that.
Oh, in other words, how can they do it for the same price is what you're saying?
Because they want your business. It's just a competition. Their competition's doing it, so they're doing it.
It's just an added incentive. And they know some people won't do it unless it was the same price because they'd rather do it themselves. Like I know when I go shopping sometimes, for most things I don't care about people picking them out for me because a box of cereal would be a box of cereal or something would be something. But when it comes maybe to a bunch of bananas or certain onions, I don't know, big red.
Produce and meat you want to pick out yourself.
Sometimes you do. But, Robert, so what was your concern? That they should be giving you a discount for shopping for yourself?
Well, I just know that it adds on to the cost.
It does.
Of the groceries.
It does. And you're paying for it. That's right. Everybody's paying for it.
And I'm doing my own. I'm not getting the benefit.
That's right, but you're paying the same price. I get it. So maybe they should, maybe they should have an incentive for shopping yourself. I don't know. Except I think they want online orders. I think they can actually process more that way. I actually think I might dispute that a little with you. They might think doing it online is more efficient and takes actually less time.
Yeah, everything's paid for online. You don't have to have a cashier.
I don't know.
I think you're wrong, guys, because when someone goes into the supermarket, they buy stuff that is sort of impulse buying. So I guarantee you that the people who go in person spend more money because it's always point-to-purchase stuff.
No, you're right. You're right. They have a better chance of making more money with people in the store.
Have you ever shopped online? You pick out a thing of cereal, they flash milk in front of you. It's the same thing.
No, well, it's not. No. He's talking about end displays and impulse items, and maybe people buy more when they're in the store.
I have no idea why Amazon's like almost the second largest retailer in the world. It's all online. You go to buy something on Amazon or Walmart.com, they will suggest anything that's even close to it.
No, they will. They will. But he's talking about walking through the aisles of a store. It's possible that...
Think about it. If you didn't have to have customers in the store, who wouldn't you need? A ton of people in the store you wouldn't need. How about your insurance? Your insurance would...
So Doc, he's got a good point. Listen to this one. He's saying while they may not buy impulsively as much in the store live as they would online, you're cutting your expenses by so much that it pays for it.
You don't even need a retail setup. I mean, it's just a warehouse at that point. It doesn't even have to look nice.
In fact, when will they start? Hold on. Grocery warehouses where you don't go inside. You pull up with your order every time. Every time.
Walmart's working on that. It's all the automation. They have some stores right now, robots go up and down the aisle picking out what you order online. Robots deliver it to the car. There is no people.
No, if you have that where there's no in-store shopping, you're absolutely right.
Well, yeah, but you can't,
Hold on, guys.
go to that model.
Hold on, guys.
I agree.
Good topic, Robert. Jacob, you have a comment. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't get a discount when I bag and scan my own groceries, so why should he get a discount, if he's
I get it. You're right. That's another good point. So you're right. If somebody orders online, has someone shop for them each and every item, take it out to the car, load it in the car, they get the same price as someone who shops, goes to a checkout, uses a cashier, and goes to the car. And the guy that self-checks out, they pay the same. Everyone pays the same. And I think it would have to be that way or it's going to get crazy. I don't know. Although, should there be incentive for self-checkouts? I've often wondered that. I prefer self-checkouts sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, if you have one or two items, man, you can't beat it.
Yeah, and I think some guys probably...
Sam's Club now, when we go there all the time for the office, for home stuff. I just open the app. I've got our cart. We scan it right there. I hit pay on my phone. We don't stop at any checkout.
Wait. That's on... They were trying that at some of the supermarkets, too,
Sam's Club has it 100%.
The scan and go. But then do they check your receipt on the way out?
Yes, they do, of course. They don't check a receipt. They check a barcode on your phone.
Yeah, but Mark, how many times have you gone into Sam's Club or Costco and bought things that you didn't think you were going to buy?
Oh, a lot. Are you kidding? They're toy stores. Right. I don't think I've ever left either without a T-shirt or a sweatshirt.
So
That's my point about why they want people in store.
He's saying in-store people gross some more money than online people. You're saying online people cut down on expense, so it's netting about the same.
I'm saying that this entire conversation has already been proved by Amazon. People love shopping online. I'm saying there is other ways to have impulse buy. And I'm a perfect candidate for that because when I go on Amazon to buy one item, I always get more than one.
Okay, there are certainly different ways to shop. I don't know if I would say I prefer online now. Okay, my wife's we were looking for some furniture pads the other day, just pads for legs, right? You go into a hardware store and you see an assortment of those. We're on FaceTime, and they're like $7, $8 a piece for just a few items. And then I look on Amazon, the same exact ones, 40 of them, a box of 40, for the same price. And I said, Steph, just forget it. Just come on home. And guess what? They came the very next day. I mean, how do you beat that? How the hell did they even do it? How do they do it?
Tom, hard goods is different than grocery items. I agree with you totally when it comes to things that aren't consumable. But I think supermarkets are in a different category.
Amazon is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
How did I have that at my door the next day?
It's the way they're painting the picture, though. They're wanting a discount here, but they're getting the discount because they're not paying the premium.
For me, it's
that's how the cash discount model works.
Mark, don't you think
not for supermarkets.
Well, it's now cheaper.
Yeah, I think
more people are going online.
20 and 200.
But it's
what I'm saying?
I go to the
all over.
I
All
spend
over.
$20. I come back with what I went to go get.
I think supermarkets are a different category than hard goods. If you order clothing or
I'm more like Belinda.
that isn't an edible,
I've got probably 15 pieces of clothes in my closet at any given time that I've never taken a tag off of.
Oh my goodness.
Well, how do you pass a $4 shirt shirt.
Easy, I've got the same shirts that I've had.
Want me to grab one?
I got to take care of them.
Oh, this. I didn't know what yours. Yeah, I mean, you know, towards the end of the season, you buy a bathing suit, $5.
BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Blake Harris, an estate planning attorney. I say that name over and over because so many people need estate plans when they need to update their estate plan. It's not going to cost a lot of money if you know what you want. Here's the great thing about it. To find out what you want, you can talk to him free of charge. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Think about that. You call an attorney free of charge, discuss what you need. Then he quotes you a flat rate up front. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Do you know that he sells more houses in a month that most sell in a whole year? And in a year, he sells what people sell in their career. He's just in the top 1% of producers, along with being a certified negotiation expert. And I've seen him at work. You know, I'm a control freak, but when I watched him work, I thought, am I glad I got out of the way? He can get you the best prices if you're buying. He can get you higher prices if you're selling. It's pure magic. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. You know, I love places that are so proud of their prices that they'll give you a price on the phone. And there's no, oh, well, it all depends. Come on in. Let's see what we can do. No, no, no. You call theartofgranite.com. You call Mitch and you say, here's what I have in mind. You can do any stone, any natural stone, or any man-made material. He'll pass that along at wholesale. He'll tear out and haul away free and do the bathroom vanity free when you do the kitchen. So he's charging for fabrication and installation, and he'll give you a price on the phone. theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919. That's 386-5919.
What more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine, or personal hygiene?
All right, I finally guessed it.
But considering that bathing on mainstream
Sam's Club card, man.
5%
gas,
isn't it time for something?
and then 3% on all purchases.
5% on gas?
All gas, not just Sam's Club, no matter where the fuck.
Yeah, but I'm not a Sam's Club member. So I would just Costco. Oh,
Is that what? That's what your Sam's Club card?
Sam's Club credit card is now 5% back on all gas.
How much is a
If you buy it at Sam's Club, it's even cheaper, of course.
So Mark, how much is a membership at Sam's Club?
Yeah, I don't think they have a. Oh, you mean a yearly?
Yeah.
We have the business one because then you get cash back.
Right.
It's free. I mean, I end up with like a check each year for $500.
Wait, no, but it's not like Costco. You don't need to buy a membership in Sam's Club.
Same with Costco. I get enough back to cover my membership.
No, but I'm asking, how much is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Cash back.
Anything you buy at either of them, you get cash back on the business membership. The amount of cash back I get, even if it's 1%, I think, with Costco, always covers my $100 fee or whatever. With Sam's Club, I usually get $400 or $500 back.
I never got cash back from Costco.
You got to have a business.
I have a business.
You should then. You should get it back.
I never got it.
You can call them, tell them that I sent you, and I promise you'll get fantastic customer service.
Russian fighters.
Personalized loan program that will prepare you for these uncertain economic conditions.
2% on qualified purchases. So I mean, I'm staring right at their website, guys.
I'm not arguing with you.
Monthly, if you spend about $250, you're going to get about
Black
$60
Panther
back.
director mistaken for a bank robber.
That was cold.
And you get, for you,
video.
you should, if you're still using Costco Travel, you get 2% back. You get a $10,000 trip, you get 2% back, man.
He walks up to the teller.
But you got to have an
with
executive
a mask,
membership.
trying to withdraw from his account.
Wait, I have a
The
business
lady didn't
member.
believe
Is it executive?
and said,
It says
presumed that he was a robber and got security. Police.
Let me see what mine looks like. We have what's called an executive member.
It big sucks.
I think my card looks just like
Like
yours.
guy with money. Walks into a bank.
I got one.
Walks out in handcuffs.
What?
I've got one. It's a different color.
What the fuck are they gonna
Or
do
maybe
about
not
that?
Just yours look like that?
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's the exact same. Look.
They should.
Yeah. I get 2% back on everything, guys.
Well, I mean, to check on, find out why. Maybe
How do I join?
You might have your shit there.
Do I have to go to Sam's Club to join and sit there and get on my pick?
You might be able to.
You can probably join online. They
Well, you know what it is,
might
Mom?
might even let you take your picture
They
now.
probably have my business
Your
address,
brother,
which
right?
I haven't used for 5 years now.
I bet if you go in, they might have a check. They'll turn around and print you for $500, whatever.
Wow,
it's
I'm
at.
going to go check next time I'm in
But yeah,
there.
it's 2% Costco.
It's probably because they send it to where my
Is
my
it the
office
same?
was.
But the Sam's Club is the best one.
So
Because
you
they'll
find-
they give you Sam's Club on the membership
What?
I have, gives you 2% back on virtually everything. And then if you use their credit card, another 3%, and then gas, 5%.
Mark, do you find any difference between Sam's Club and Costco?
Just because I'm close to Sam's.
Is there any difference?
Sam's is easier to get in and out of because of
Well,
that.
what about prices?
You don't have to deal
Mark,
with anybody.
What about prices?
Same.
And the selection's
Scan
about the
with your
same?
phone?
Is the selection about the
You
same?
don't got to talk to anybody.
What?
Costco's
Tom
got more
Martino.
toys.
All right, man, we got a lot of
issues going on. I'm going to go back to Dustin in a minute, although I think that we pretty much concluded he's doing the right thing to go after them. Tony has an issue with car repairs being overcharged. Tony, what's going on?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I have a 2011 Grand Jeep Cherokee
Okay.
that's in the shop, and it's at a break spot. I did go ahead and put it in the shop, and it wouldn't go back up. So
Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? It wouldn't go back up. What do we mean?
It was like sitting down low, and it was sitting so low that the wheels started protruding outwards. You know.
Oh wait,
so
so
that I had
all,
to get it.
all four corners of your car were low? It all just dropped?
Yeah.
That's
It wouldn't
weird.
Go back up. So
Hey,
it was
a normal
like
Cherokee
air-
doesn't have any kind of air system.
No.
So what she's
And how do all four shocks go bad at the same exact time to lower it? I don't get it. So
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't have a special suspension on it. Did you buy it used where some kid souped it up?
No. Mm-mm.
What year is
It
it?
was like the
2011. Okay.
2011.
So you said it was riding real low. You took it into Brakes Plus, and what's going on with it?
So they put they said it was the suspension air compressor that went out.
Wait, so, hold on. Suspension air compressor.
Some of them have what's called an Overland Quadra-Lift Air.
Okay, that's what you have. You have an air suspension system. I didn't know they put those on Grand Cherokees. Wow.
And it went up 6, and it had a little modular.
Yeah, listen to
in there
this.
where-
I just want people to realize this. This is pretty cool for an 011. It's got 5 height settings. You basically turn it, and it goes up or down.
Wow.
For a 2000.
Hold on, and we'll come back to you, Tony. Let's find out how they put you together on this, if they did. Also, Dawn has an Amazon purchase, and Dustin wants to still talk about the U.S. mortgage issue, so we'll be back with that. Plus, credit card processing, we haven't forgotten. We'll sum all that up, too.
How long will this bull market last? What will the next recession look like? Are you financially prepared? Visit my website now at kurtcambier.com for your free portfolio analysis.
It's hard to believe a 2011 Cherokee. It must have been for the it says a Grand Cherokee. Yeah.
I bet you that's expensive to fix.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know it is, man. It's some kind of weird deal. And if the air compressor went out,
Everyone knows drinking.
let me see how much it is.
Those air replacement air compressors aren't so bad. It's those airbags, the shocks, especially if they're like a hybrid.
But if all four went out, it's going to be the compressor.
During COVID, how did yours situation?
Intermittent fasting and cutting out dairy, sugar, and carbs.
Okay, so on the intermittent fasting, how often did you do it?
I wasn't doing a science behind it. I worked all day and I'd have dinner, and I would just steaks. I'm just honest with you.
That's what I
steaks,
love.
burgers,
I do that, yeah.
chicken.
I love that shit.
And it was during last summer, so I mean we were grilling a lot. We were grilling vegetables.
That's cool shit. Did any of you get sick?
It's
I
about
felt great.
1,000 to
Are you kidding me?
1,500.
I got 2 dogs. I live on
Vaccinated. My wife. It's each to his own. I did everything, but I'm not sure it helped at all.
Well, by the time those came out, the next variant was here. Those vaccines were already for the first variant.
By the way, I found out PCR tests don't pick up the variant all the time. Did you know that?
The PCR tests are amplified. So my wife is a DMP and she works in...
No, and yet what's the bullshit about them, they amplified them how they wanted. No, they amplified them more when they wanted a bunch
they don't
of
tell you
cases.
how many cycles.
Then they amplified them less after the inauguration to say, oh, you know, Biden's doing great. And then when they wanted to show more, they amped them up. They can make that fucking test show whatever they want.
The guy who the guy who invented that test, Nobel Prize winner.
Robert
for
Malone.
science. Yeah, he's like he used a philosophy, the Buddhist philosophy, where you can find something in everything.
No,
right?
he said that you're not contagious after 24 cycles. Well, doesn't matter. And they were making people quarantine.
You could have it in you, but your immune system can fight it off well enough.
And you're not going to spread it.
Tommy, that guy, I don't know if you want to get this question on the air. He wants to know if Kurt Rogers would give him a statement for his court date or court.
He can call Kurt directly.
Okay, so let me just give him that information.
I'm going to do that because I'll tell you what, it's wrong what happened to him. I agree with him. I don't see how he loses.
You're right about Costco and Sam's Club though. Costco, I could spend an afternoon and have lunch with all those samples that they used to do.
They have such a fucking, Costco's got way more toys, man. They'll always have something
They
crazy.
also have the best chicken for $5.
Yes, that's a lost. That lost leader is
That's
great.
a huge chicken.
They bought their own chickens.
Yeah, it's good for like five. It's good for like 5 meals. Yeah, it's so big. 5 meals.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'll eat like at least.
But you're right, they're way bigger than a supermarket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely.
They're all just steroided up.
I just have to be very careful when I go to Costco because it's not made for. I'm single, and it's really tough to find stuff that you don't have to buy a year's supply of shaving cream. Or everything is bulk.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I mean, I've tried rotisserie chicken a few times.
Yeah.
I can't make it the same, like as well with the,
I got one that makes it perfect.
Do you?
The ribs
It's
are
just
also
fucking messy.
Yeah, but my mom makes the best here.
Have you tried their ribs?
Been to a place that's made.
Corey?
I do a decent rotisserie chicken.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's that?
Have you tried their ribs?
I have tried their
The
ribs.
ribs I think are awesome.
Yeah, I'm biased though maybe, but my mom's ribs are just.
Well, Delcast says we're eating chemicals when we're eating those Costco chickens.
Oh,
They're
for sure.
pumped full.
For sure. 100%. But
Good
everything
stuff.
is now though too.
Oh yeah.
Everything. There's nothing I mean, look at the lady who was on. I think it was Joe Rogan. She was a Harvard PhD talking about phthalates in plastics. Phthalates are actually water soluble.
Yeah, they never go away.
Yeah, right. Those are one of the long lasting ones.
They're in
But
Denver.
we're talking about there are plastics in every or a part of plastics. I'm probably screwing this up, but phthalates that dissolve. Just like you would put salt in water, it would dissolve. Phthalates are water soluble.
That's also a plastic.
It's in every plastic.
Interesting.
And so you could spend a lot of money and send a urine sample to the CDC, and they could send you back something, showing what levels of phthalates there are.
But if
and
it's
directly
soluble,
related to,
you'd probably get rid of it. You'd probably pass it.
Some of it. I'll send you.
It's the shit that's not soluble that scares the shit out of me.
I'm gonna send you this. It is unbelievable. We went back for our daughter. We went and got phthalate-free bottles and mattresses and everything because it's just the most unbelievable thing.
Now I remember, new parent. No, we did that shit too, man. Oh my God, I can't think of the amount of car seats we went through.
See, I couldn't care less about like the corners of tables. I'm like, the kid's gonna hit their head, right? That's fine.
I bet you guys cut the stairs off, didn't you?
What do you mean?
Oh, she's not crawling yet, or is she?
Oh, you mean, yeah.
I wouldn't. I said, don't fucking do it, and we never
Well, that
did.
was a given.
It's a white sport.
It was right up until we started
And tennis
playing.
was
There was right up until we started playing.
Tennis was too.
Tennis was too. Right up until them queens got up there and started beating everybody's ass.
Oh,
Amazon.
God.
Only one of them's huge. The other one.
Both giant.
No.
As far as muscles and height and reach. Who? The Williams girls. Yeah. Holy shit!
Did you know?
that one long one, she can reach halfway across the car. Then the other one is just. Pow! When you see that serve, it goes like
top.
Pow!
The top 200 collegiate men in college. Top collegiate. Top 200 could beat them consistently.
That's
Either one.
bullshit.
Look it up.
Look it up. Who says they can? They haven't played.
Yeah, they have. Well, they've only played who they want. When they get crushed, they don't do it again.
No, they.
Oh,
that's
bullshit.
what McEnroe said.
Those fucking
Just
girls.
look it up.
They fucking
Look it up.
murder.
I don't know what
they
else to
murder
tell you.
most men.
They said that.
Most, sure, but how?
Okay.
But
Mark, they
You're
said that.
absolute.
Yeah,
The
I
top
used to
200
shop at
collegiate.
when I was there.
But that's what McEnroe and other people said, but they've never tried it.
hey, remember
There's a lot
Billie
of them
Jean
that
King
challenge it.
beat the shit out of who? What was his name? Billy
Jean King
and what was the other big mouth? He got fucking whooped. Do you remember the battle of the
Yeah,
sexes?
yeah.
I don't.
Mark, do you remember the battle of the sexes?
That was
Were
like
you
in
too young?
70s.
I was too young.
I'm turning 34 this year, Tom.
The battle of the sexes
I was
was a
born
big
then.
deal.
Bobby,
Bobby
Knight.
McEnroe.
Bobby Knight?
No, but yeah, Knight.
Not Knight.
No,
No, that's the coach.
Okay, who played? Okay, we're trying to say who played. No.
Billie Jean King.
Yeah,
In the
Bobby.
battle of the sexes.
I can look this up.
It was Billie Jean and it was McEnroe.
I'm
No,
Tom
it was
Martino.
Bobby
You're a
something.
troubleshooter.
Wasn't that
303-713 talk 303-713-8255. We're going to talk to you about your problems, questions, complaints. All right, 303-713 talk 713-8255. Tony, she has a 2011 Grand Jeep Cherokee, and new to us, we didn't realize this, but they had an air suspension system that you could pick heights. It could go up a maximum of how much, Mark, did you say? How many inches? You could
8.5.
Wow. And then she says it went flat, so she took it to Brakes Plus. Okay, we're right there. What happened then?
Okay, so I took it in
Got it.
for them to get it fixed.
Right.
And they did fix it. And so my question is because they charged, it came up to $4,500.
Oh, my goodness. 4,500.
And
Now,
so-
we were looking at the compressors, what, 1,500? What else was bad? Do you know, were all the airbags bad?
No, that's it. No, that's
Well,
it.
that's just online. We should really ask somebody.
Yeah, we should ask somebody. Anyway, so, but did
it
they
came
get
up
your
and
approval first, Tony? Usually, they get approval. Did they just go ahead and fix it, or did you approve it first?
They did get my approval to fix it. But then that's my question. Why is it so much?
I don't know. Let's find out. Hey,
where else did you ask, though? Where are you getting your pricing?
Let's find out. Let's call both. Okay. Let's call both of our car day guys, and see if they're around.
Let's call
either Jeff Vick or Uncle Kevin.
Well, Sheridan for sure.
I mean, Jeff Vick knows a lot about suspensions. He might know about those Jeeps.
Yeah, I'm sure he does know about them.
Hold on, and let's find out. Or we could always call, down on Santa Fe, Mark. We haven't talked to him in a while.
I'm also curious what a dealer would charge.
Yeah, but this is not a dealer. A dealer would be way expensive. Hold on, Tony, and we'll find out. Dawn, what's on your mind, Dawn?
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Thanks for the show. It's amazing.
What's going on?
I bought a television during the Black Friday special that Amazon had on November 26th.
Okay.
They delivered it on December 3rd. I was very busy during that time because I sold the house. I moved to the mountains, and I had a long commute now.
Mm-hmm.
So the TV stayed in the box in my house until February 27th.
Oh, no.
February 27th.
What's
when I
wrong with
finally
it?
had the tech guy. It does not work. So the tech guy came. He put the mount up.
You mean it doesn't work?
Everything.
Wait, no, hardly anything goes wrong with these things out of the box. What doesn't? It was delivered 12/3. Did you say?
12/3, correct.
Doggone it! And you didn't open it till February. You know what? I've done similar things. Thank God I haven't had a problem. But So you couldn't send it back to Amazon, right? They said call the manufacturer. Is that right?
Correct. And so I called Sony. They had me run through troubleshooting. I already knew it didn't work. The tech guy knew it didn't work.
But it's still under warranty, so you should get another one.
No, they're telling me that even though the box is fine, it's intact, there's no dents, scratches, the TV looks fine, there's nothing the matter with it visually, it's fried.
Yeah. Okay, it's under warranty. It never worked. Won't they replace it?
No, yeah, they'll replace it if I send them an additional $400 and some odd.
No, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Yeah. You can buy a giant one for $600. I mean, what are they talking about? What do you have to send them $400 for?
Because they say I'm outside of warranty and it's not their fault.
No. Hold on. You can't be outside of warranty on a brand new TV for a few months. It was delivered December 3rd. You called them in February. How can you be outside of warranty? Don't you get a year warranty on most of these items?
Sony does. You're correct. They do have a 1-year warranty, but they're telling me that the TV was likely dropped during shipping.
But it's not your fault.
Right. Yeah. So, but they're not going to do anything for me.
No.
So it worked for 2 months?
No, it didn't work at all. She didn't. She kept it in the box from December 3rd to February 3rd. Oh no. And Amazon, they're pretty good.
30 days, man.
They won't. What's 30 days, Mark?
Yeah. You can return to Amazon in 30 days.
But they're pretty strict on that if you don't, huh?
Well, yeah, just like Walmart or anybody.
Doggone it. Now you got a piece of nothing. What did you pay for that?
$624.91.
And the $400 is what? Is that they just want you to buy a new one? They're going to give you a break or what?
Exactly. They said that's all we can offer is the discount to TV.
All right. Who's going to tackle this?
And she disputed on her credit card?
Well, they didn't do it. No one did anything wrong. She did. She did wrong. Well, if she had opened it that day, they would have taken it back. I mean, shame on you, Dawn, but still, you shouldn't be punished. I mean, we got to figure this out.
I don't understand how they would know any of this story. How would they know it's been in the box for 2 months?
Yeah, because they know when they delivered it. They have proof of delivery. Oh, Amazon has proof of delivery.
No, I know, but all I'm saying is if I have a TV and 2 months later it's not working and I call up... how the hell would
he's not talking about Amazon. He's saying
he's talking about.
In other words, he's not talking about Amazon. Here's what he's saying. Let's just say you opened it December 3rd and you were using it, and on February 3rd it stopped working. How does Sony determine it was damaged? How do they determine that? They haven't even looked at it, have they?
No, they had me send pictures of the screen, and they're saying, based on what they see in the pictures,
wait.
The television was
can
compromised.
They can tell by looking at. Send us those pictures. What can you see? A crack?
No, what you see, you don't see any cracks. What you see is largely it's dark, but you'll see little squiggly.
She's saying when it's plugged in.
You're talking when you turn it on.
Correct. Yeah, you'll see.
So they can tell it was dropped.
That's sad. And Amazon is saying you should have let us know.
Well, yeah, of course, because she could have dropped it hanging it for that matter.
I know it. Dog, you can see the reasoning, right, Dawn? Hold on. I don't know what to do. Hold on. Let's think about this. I want to go to Jeff Vick quickly because he's busy. Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. By the way, 303-693-1400 at the southeast corner, roughly, of Jordan and Arapahoe. He knows a lot about stuff, and we're talking about this Jeep Grand Cherokee, a 2011. Jeff, are you familiar with those air suspension systems? I never knew they had those in cars.
Yeah, it's for the ride height, the level control.
Yeah, it's pretty darn cool. Anyway, here's what happened. Tony said she took it to a place to be fixed because it was flat. So what did they do, Tony, for the money, $4,500? What did they do?
I guess they put the suspension air compressor on the car.
Is that all, or did they replace the individual shocks or anything, or what? I don't even know if they're shocks or airbags. I have no idea, but...
The airbags, yeah.
What they sent me was the only thing that they sent me was an estimate. They would not send me the actual invoice. It says the labor was $444 and the actual suspension air compressor was $3,617.68. And so I asked them, send me the actual invoice.
So they did not change, and it's unlikely all the airbags went out at the same time. So they're saying it was a compressor, and that was $3,600 plus labor. I get it. But, Jeff, that sounds a bit high for that compressor. We looked online. What did you find, Mark? Didn't you find some?
Yeah, but I hate even getting into these arguments because I don't know if it was used, aftermarket, brand new.
Jeff, do you know what they would cost if you went to buy one?
You know, I would have to be able to pull it up for the particular vehicle and be able to search online through the dealer websites because these things can vary greatly in between vehicles.
Okay, so, Tony, can you supply us, what do you need, Jeff, to figure this out?
You know, a VIN or even just a license plate. I can pull the VIN off the license plate.
Or get the VIN number. Tony, off the air, give it to Sue. Yeah. Suze will talk to Jeff. Let's figure out. And if they did overcharge you, but here's the next thing. So what?
Yeah, but if it's, you know, if Jeff finds out it's $500 from the dealer and they're charging $3,000,
okay, all right. Somewhere. So hang on. We'll see what we can do for you.
That's ripping someone's face off.
Bobby Riggs.
Bobby Riggs. Bobby Riggs, right?
That's
Because it was
the
Stephanie's
name.
uncle.
And by the way, everything I read, the top, what do they call them? Not
You
a
don't
triple.
know that.
Well, everyone that's played her has beat her. Everyone. Every college person.
When have they played her?
They just look it up. Just look the fucking shit up.
Liar.
People that are like 203rd beat her without even blinking.
He's a fucking liar.
God.
Hey, if you want a loan,
can you do better than the liquid loan? It's a 30-year line of credit. Here's how it works. If you're going to be in your home for a few years and you get this loan, you only pay interest only. Do you realize what kind of a house you can afford like that? You may say, well, I want to pay principal. You don't have to if you're staying a few years. If you stay a few years on a conventional loan, you'll pay like 96 cents in principal. You know, well, here's the deal. Truly, if you do want to pay principal after that or whenever, you can. You can pay $1,000. You can pay $10,000. You can pay $100,000. Here's the point. It's a liquid loan. After you pay the principal, you may need some cash. You can borrow it back. It's liquid. Yes, you pay it up. You borrow it, you pay it, you borrow it, you pay it, and then listen to this one. Every dime you have in the bank for regular bills subtracts from the balance, so you pay less interest. TheLiquidLoan.com. Only from Affordable Interest Mortgage. 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500. John Fuller has a small firm on purpose. A small law firm on purpose. Now, when have you heard that? Because he wants to give you super service. John Fuller for personal injury, super service. You're not a number. You're not a case. You're a person. He charges contingency. That means he collects a portion of what he collects for you. And here's the bottom line. You won't do better. He'll give you his cell phone. He'll keep in touch with you. And if you just need legal advice first, ask him anything you want free of charge with no obligation to hire him. John Fuller, if you're in an accident, call him. Free legal advice, 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. That's personalinjuryco.com. One Clear Choice Garage Doors is the place I have used the last 20 years. 5 or 6 times. For garage door openers, for garage doors, for everything in between. And all of their prices are on their website. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. They're there 24/7 if you need them for emergencies, or if you just have something, an issue, an inspection you need. They'll do a whole inspection for just $80 of your whole garage door system, and then recommend what you need or make it like new. 720-370-3987. 720-370-3987. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Hey, Simply Floors, Inc. You've heard them on the show. Well, you know what? They're great people. Simply Floors, Inc. Make your own appointment at simplyfloorsinc.com. And While we're on the topic of people that I know, people that I trust, people that I use, how about Silverleaf Mortgage for a reverse loan? You've heard me talk about reverse loans now, and you know there are only a few trusted people that I trust for you. If you're older, you have equity, hey, shop around if you'd like on a referral list, but make sure one of them is Silverleaf Mortgage. These people are trusted counselors that will help you if you're considering a reverse loan. It can be a line of credit, lump sum, or monthly payments, and you will never be upside down in this loan. 720-REVERSE. 720-REVERSE.
You worked your whole career to reach the top.
Yeah, I believe it. And he beat them both back to back, both systems. Is that really true?
Yeah.
They fucking, it's not even close. It's like Mike Tyson fighting a girl.
Well, I mean, come on, you asshole. Did you see? I refused.
Oh, she's so good. I could probably
Right here, 1998, after the Australian Open.
They won't do it again either. And they're the ones that opened their big mouth. We could beat any man in college right to 1 to 200.
Outside the 200.
And this dude was right there. He goes, "I'll play you tomorrow." And he fucking beat them both back to
But
back.
they admitted they couldn't beat the top 200?
They changed it to 350 now.
Yeah, they can't beat the top 350. Why? Because men hit fucking harder.
But they're monsters.
They can spin it a lot harder.
Yeah, Jeff.
You only think that.
Wyoming's offering her $6,000 a year towards her.
And you know what? The transgender sports are unfair.
They
They're
are.
100%.
Wow, Tom. Why do you think the one male swimmer or whatever
Even if
beats
you
every
lop off the
time?
weenie and you take testosterone suppression drugs,
But you're
you'd
looking
be like him, but you could still
yeah,
hit
in
the
those,
ball.
but in those years, you're looking at muscle. You're looking.
Have you seen those swimmers? They look, they're
You're looking at
ginormous.
the center of balance, bone density, and muscle fiber.
If you've gone through
Much
puberty,
different.
It never
if you've
goes
gone
away.
through puberty as a male, you should
No,
not
those
be
broad
a
shoulders and
female.
their hips.
Right, Mark?
I agree
Take it
100%. It's not fair to the females is what's
Right,
the most
exactly.
ironic part.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you.
I love how they fought for rights forever, but now when it comes to this, no one says a damn word.
No, you're right.
Well, the swimmer.
You're all right about
The
that.
swimmer
You're
was
right.
on the male swim team for 3 years.
You have seen that. You have seen that dude, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
No, I
6
know.
foot something. He's got the reach of the Birdman.
Does he still have his weenie?
I don't know if he does. Is that part of it? You got to have the old chop
No,
chop.
you just have to be on
No, you just have
Yeah.
to. Not. I don't even think
You don't have to have definitive surgery.
You have to have suppression drugs for a year. That's what you have to have.
in the NCAA.
Yeah, yes, yes.
So, yeah.
And the
To be
IOC.
considered to be considered a female athlete.
Could you imagine basketball if Shaq said his name was Sharkey now? This fucking guy could sit there at the age of 65 and just put it in like this. That's it. The other teammate would just pass it.
This is a true story.
Shakina.
Listen, this is a true story, man. Boston College.
Could be the oldest woman.
Griffin was a fencer at Boston College. There was a guy on the team who couldn't fucking fence himself out of it. Fencer, you know.
Yeah.
Epi. I think he was Epi. Anyway, so what happened was,
He joined the women's?
yeah, he became transgender. Listen to this. Won everything. These poor fucking women that worked their asses off their entire
That's
college
when he
career.
was going there? Holy shit.
It's just, he's still there. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Are we back for Jeff now? He did some research. So here's the deal. Tony said, my suspension, my air suspension on my 2011 Grand Jeep Cherokee, it's actually a Jeep Grand Cherokee, it went flat. And apparently the compressor was out. And they changed it. They gave her a new one over at Brakes Plus. Labor and parts came to $4,500. Oh, my God. But she gave approval, but she said perhaps she did it out of ignorance. Was she ripped off? I don't know. So I asked Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, to find out what he could buy it for and what the realistic labor would be. And by the way, under no circumstances are we saying that people have to charge the same, okay? So even if he comes back with the lower price, that doesn't mean you were ripped off unless it was unconscionable. And that means outrageous. So let's see what Jeff came up with. Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. What did you come up with, sir?
You showed about a little over 3 hours of labor to do the work.
So
dealer lift.
What would 3 hours labor be in a normal shop?
Well, and I was figuring them, their labor rate rather. I was figuring them about $135 an hour, so that'd be $418.50.
That's what they charge. That's about what they charge for labor.
Okay, I figured they're probably going to do an alignment when they're done, so roughly add in, anywhere between, $89 to $100.
So now we're up to $550 maybe.
The dealer lift for that compressor is $2,085 even. So
$2,000.
$2,085.
So the whole thing may have cost
$27,8806 after tax.
27. Okay, 2,700, 37 for almost $2,000 more.
You know, unfortunately, though, a lot of shops, and Jeff, I know you don't do this, but when it comes to dealer parts, they'll mark them up more than the retail because there's not much spread there. You buy something from Napa and resell it, you're generally doubling it. You buy Jeff from the dealer, you're lucky to make
Jeff,
15.
I want to hear the honest to God. Jeff, I want to hear the truth, and I know you'll tell me, seriously. If someone came in with this problem, do you think that's what you would charge, around 27 or a little more?
I might have bumped it another 5% on the parts because you only get about a 20% spread.
Okay.
And we have to have a certain markup.
So about $3,000 maybe.
Yeah, about $3,000 would be pumped out the door. Yeah.
But what if a woman came in? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Jeez, it's a little humor here. Tony.
Yes, sir.
You might want to go back to them and say, look, we researched this a bit. You can't demand anything really because you gave your approval. Or we can have Deputy Doc call over and say, what do you guys think? Do you have a comment on it? At least give them a chance to comment on it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? What do you want us to take a try or what? Or you want to call them first? What do you want to do?
Do you think they ripped me off?
See, that is really a matter of judgment. Here's what we're saying, Tony. Jeff Vick, charging a little more for parts than the dealer, and charging good labor and a alignment in with it would have charged you about $3,000. You paid $4,500. Now, is that a ripoff? Not really. We have people, for example, that'll do furnaces, and one will do a furnace for $8,000. Well, I don't know if you can get them for $8,000 anymore, but let's say $8,000, and another one $12,000. Okay? It's hard to say, Tony. We have people that charge differently for different things that are good companies. Now, I don't know. I think you should go back and say, guys, I realize I gave you approval. But in researching this, we have found shops that would not charge more than $3,000. And the compressor comes out to be like $2,000. And labor and alignment, maybe $3,000.
Mm-hmm. I'll call one more on break. I'm going to call a dealer. Let's see what a dealer.
Okay, you hold on, and we'll see what we can figure out. Okay, let's just see what we can figure out. Did we finish up with Dawn? I don't think we did. I don't know what to do with her. Dawn, I feel so bad. We're definitely going to get to that.
Marty didn't think he'd have much luck with her.
No, and Smarty Marty is a pit bull as far as not letting go of something, but Dawn, your biggest sin here was letting it sit in the box for 2 months. I'm not sure we can do anything at all. I'm surprised no one, just out of goodwill, I'm surprised they wouldn't have offered you something. Now, here's the good news. Since you bought that TV, they're really down in price. I mean, what size is that one?
55-inch.
You can get bigger now for what you paid, but what do you care, right? You already spent that money. That is money just down. I wonder if that can be fixed. I don't mean fixed free. I wonder if it can be fixed.
What did the technician say?
I don't know. I mean, do you realize 55 inches right now are $400? So they're not giving you anything when they say send them 400. Suze.
Hey, Tom, Marty is saying that if she paid by Amex, he might have a chance to replace it, or she might.
Oh.
By chance, did you pay by Amex?
No, Visa.
Well, Visa has the same thing, doesn't it, for damage? Look into your Visa card and get back to us, Dawn. Okay. Look into it, because sometimes they'll pay for damage. Explain the situation to them. They might do it.
Hey, Dawn, didn't you say a technician came out?
That was a guy I hired, a tech guy to mount it and to connect everything.
What did he say? Did he say it could be fixed?
This is exactly what I heard him say when he turned the TV on. I was in the other room. He said, "Oh, no." And he said, you know, unfortunately, when you get electronics, just like you guys are sharing with me, you should plug them in right away to make sure that something didn't happen.
And by the way,
even though
the LED needs replacing, no doubt. Nothing will happen to that motherboard. I mean, if that motherboard was destroyed, the whole screen would have been shattered. So I think it jarred it just enough to break the LED. And at $400, when you get a brand new one, why would you bother? I don't think you could get it repaired for close to that. In fact, you can get a really good one at Walmart for $319, a 55-inch. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I don't think there's anything we can really do. Hold on. We got another comment coming up on that Jeep as well.
Andy said $4,000 all day. Okay. There's three. When you do them, it's not just a compressor. There's two other parts you got to buy. Not the actual shocks, but two other parts. The parts are between $3,300 and $3,500, then labor. So
the regulator.
It's $4,000.
The level range.
Yeah. Just the pump, but then they said they always order the other two parts too. Because they should all be in sync or whatever.
Okay, good. That's good to know, actually.
So $4,000.
You know, we don't get a lot of complaints, do we, about those guys, Mark?
Not for a long time. They're owned by Firestone.
Why don't we try? Oh, they were purchased. So
no. You're thinking of the other one. You're thinking of Larry Brashada.
Yeah.
Brakes.
Yeah. Wasn't that who we were just talking?
It's
Brakes Plus is.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Just Brakes. Yeah, no, Brakes Plus we almost get 0 on.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Should we try to get them back?
I think they sold.
When you buy a home with Rockies,
I've tried them a few times. It'd be a great partner.
Surprises and unanswered questions. That's not how
we got to dig into the no credit card fee part.
When you're ready,
okay, I'll try. We'll devote this off.
You can.
Let's talk about a real estate attorney, olslaw.com, O'Brien Legal Services. That's why the website is olslaw.com. You need a real estate attorney. You know what? You could stay out of a lot of trouble. This one guy, he could have saved that $5,000 earnest money if he used an attorney. An attorney would have let him know what the deadlines are and how to make the most of this contract or extend it. Whatever it is, let him review your contracts at the very least for a few $100. Commercial or residential, and leases or owner finance, or buying homes with a partner who's not your husband or wife, or any kind of real estate issue, easements, eminent domain, whatever it is, please, you need a real estate attorney, and we trust O'Brien Legal Services, olslaw.com, 720-370-7388. MyMoneyMyWay.com. Remember the website, go there. That's where you'll find Joe and Jordan Chiano, father and son team, making the most out of your money for retirement. MyMoneyMyWay.com. They have some incredible retirement plans that are non-qualified. What do I mean by that? What I mean is the money going in is not tax deductible, but the earnings are tax-free, and you can live off them. Now, there are some ways you can take qualified plans and roll them into an annuity, or there are ways you can overfund life insurance that'll be almost like a qualified plan. In fact, talk to them. They are good people, and it's definitely something you can work into your portfolio. MyMoneyMyWay.com.
With a new year comes new ways to save big. Belco Credit Union is offering 1% APY on a 24-month CD.
Freshmen in high school that played both of them at the same time. So double versus single.
No.
And they beat them 6-1.
What? The freshman beat them?
In high school. And the kid was 3.5 feet tall with one arm.
One leg.
And he did it with a table tennis racket.
And he used a baseball bat. He was very accurate.
I'm going to be proactive and write to Harris. I'm just going to write to him.
Why? I haven't heard nothing about
By
it.
the way, I replaced it. I not replaced it. I've added another big line. Trust me, I'm getting the contract, but I'm going to do a combination contract for sure. Because I just realized I am inundating people with paperwork.
Yeah, but when they do, I don't know how you do it, because if they drop one, why?
No, it'll be on there. It'll be on there, and then it'll raise. But I'll say they have the option of continuing at an increased price. That's all. Because What? Tell me what.
I think it's better if I do those, because I also end up not only doing the contract, but then dealing with them to actually build it and give them an idea of what it is. So
but
therefore, it's all one deal.
Okay, so I'll do the contract and send it to you. Then you deal with them.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just trying to make it with me and them and put down what I want. Then I'll give it to you. Then you can deal with it. The next one I'm doing is Garage Magic. Okay. He's really a good guy, and he had a Garage King thing, but he went to Garage Magic because he said, "Here's the deal. Can we go off for a second?"
A sober ride home is the smart and safe thing to do. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by NHTSA.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. When my listeners need advice on mortgages, I call Ideal Home Loans, making it possible for you to own instead of renting, or refinancing to fix up the home you have. With their 2-year interest rate guarantee, if rates go down, they refinance you free of charge, or their pre-approval, which gives you the strength of a cash buyer. At Ideal, first they listen, then they lend. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
Man, I am happy to tell you about the only realtor that made the cut for Team Dave Logan, and that is Troy Hansford. I recommend Troy because he's the only agent that will guarantee to sell your home at your price, or he'll write you a check for $5,000. And the good news, he puts that in writing. He can make that guarantee because he spends tens of thousands of dollars generating demand. And right now, he has hundreds of approved home buyers ready to buy. He just doesn't have enough houses. So if you have a house, Troy might have that perfect buyer for you right now. Give him a call, 720-900-4433. Let me give you a story. Just last week, Troy listed a house that was on the market for almost a month. You know what? Troy sold it for full price in less than a week. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. Call Troy and get your home sold for the most money. 720-900-4433. Again, that's 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford with RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
It's time for the postseason. Hi, this is Voice of the Boss, Mark Johnson. This afternoon, after a first-round bye, the four-seeded Buffaloes are back in action in the Pac-12 quarterfinals. Coverage begins at 3 on KOA, 850 AM, 94.1 FM, and an iHeartRadio.
Fairway Auto Service invites you to experience honest auto repair and service. Trust the technicians that will provide you with exceptional customer satisfaction. They offer the best auto service repair and quality for your car. For more info, go to fairwayautoservice.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Smarty Marty has a comment on that Amazon purchase. We feel so badly for the woman. She bought a TV, left it in the box for 2 months, opened it up, it didn't work. Amazon says you're past the 30 days. Sony says, well, it was damaged in shipping. It's not under warranty. What do you think, Smarty?
Well, if she paid with American Express.
She didn't. But we heard that Sue did pass that along. Do other credit card companies have the same kind of thing?
Some do. Yes, some do.
Okay, talk about it. What is it? What is it?
Well, it's a buyer protection plan, which gives you 2 items. One, they'll extend the warranty of the item, which does not apply in this case. But the other part is they'll give you up to $1,000 of credit if it's damaged or stolen, but it's usually within 90 days of the claim. So she might just be outside that window. But she needs to call her credit card company and ask if they have the buyer protection plan included in her plan.
Okay, that's cool. That's one thing to think about. Smarty, I just airdropped a photo to Suze we're going to put up on our feed you might want to take a look at. I happened to be at Whole Foods the other night and saw this and took a picture of it.
It's an adult mineral formula called Smarty Pants.
That's funny.
Yeah, I took a picture of it. We're going to send it to you. We're going to text it to you, but I want Talib to put it up there in honor of Smarty Pants, Deputy Smarty. And Jay's got a comment on the Jeep compressor and how much it costs. And then Mark has a comment on that. To make a long story short, she went in because her air suspension system on her 11 Jeep Cherokee, the Grand Cherokee, went flat. They charged her about $4,000 or $4,500, and she said, "Is that too high?" And then Jeff Vick said, "Well, I price out all the parts and labor. I'm thinking maybe I would charge $3,000, and that's a 5% surcharge on top of the parts, and then on top of the regular markup." And then, so basically, Jay, what do you have to say?
I think it'd be cool for you guys to call some brakes buses, ask them if they do book rate, and say, okay, how many hours will it be to fix my Jeep? It needs a compressor. Then, okay, how much do you charge per hour? And kind of make them break it down for you and see what they come up with.
That would be a good one. Why don't you do it for us?
Most places.
No,
You don't give estimates over the phone.
But anyway, Jay, thank you for that. Mark actually did call a friendly dealer and asked him that.
Yeah,
what did he say?
$4,000.
$4,000. So Tony, the more we look, a dealer would have charged $4,000. We have Jeff Vick around $3,000. These guys charge $4,500. You know, let's put it this way. If you should just call them and ask for a courtesy discount, but they don't owe you anything. That's what we're thinking.
Tony, they also said it's more, the dealer I talked to said it's more than generally just the compressor. There's a couple other parts that go along with the compressor.
Here's what I want to ask. How's it running? How's it riding?
I haven't went and picked it up yet.
Oh.
They, I kept asking for the actual invoice. I wanted to go pick it up today.
What do you mean invoice?
What they actually did to the car. I kept asking them what they actually did to the car. They wouldn't. They keep sending me this estimate.
No, you'll get it when you go there. They have to give it to you by law.
What's the difference between the estimate and what your final invoice? I don't understand.
Because I wanted to know what they actually did to the car.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. If they say to you, by the way, Tony, we did exactly what the estimate says, then that's it. I mean, many times these estimates or these work orders are exactly the same as the final invoice. It's not unusual. So let us know what you find out. All right, now, Mark, what did you want to talk about when it comes to savingonfees.com or Merchants First? I want to make this clear. Hold on. We started this company on purpose years ago to give small business a break. And by the way, we've had large business in it. We've had medium business.
Oh, yeah.
We're saving companies up to 80 and 90 grand a year in credit card fees. Go ahead.
So it doesn't matter what size business you have. If you're taking credit cards or thinking about it, you got to call. As simple as that. We're going to give you free equipment. We're going to give you the best rates out there. And then on top of that, there's no long-term contracts. But something new and exciting I want Corey to talk about is if you want to pass along all the fees to the consumer, so roughly 2.5%, 3% onto the consumer to where you have literally, and I mean this, literally 0%. Think of how much you pay your merchant right now each year. Some people pay up to $70,000 to $100,000 in fees. If you rather put that in the pocket of your business or yourself, Corey, how are we doing that for every industry?
And here's what I want to address, because there are people listening right now saying, well, wait a minute. I heard you can't surcharge people for using a credit card, so how can you pass the cost on to consumers? And the answer is you adjust all of your pricing. How do you do it?
So what we have in the state of Colorado, we have what's called a cash discount program. It's similar to surcharge. If you know,
but legally it's not. So they adjust all of their pricing.
So what you need to alert the customer about is that there is a cash discount price, but everything that is marked in that store or marked or published to the public is at that cash discount price.
Wait, it's at the cash discount price or it's at the
cash discount price? And for every other charge, there's a standard adjustment of 3.9%.
Just like gasoline, right? I mean, almost
every they legally allow. And does it have to be 3.9, or can I make it 2.9?
We can adjust that. We'll look at the card diversity of that business because, as you know, the card diversity within a food truck probably isn't that of a Nordstrom or of a big box retailer or somebody who has a larger ticket.
How does that make a difference?
It makes a difference because there was a senator, Dick Durbin, who created what was dubbed the Durbin Amendment and regulated debit card transactions. And those debit card transactions virtually have zero risk. And they cost 5/100ths of 1% to take. Basically, you're running those transactions the cost is
just as a convenience.
Point A to point B. Right.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, to a merchant, does he lose business when he starts surcharging? And it's not a surcharge, but it technically is, but it's legally not. It's a cash discount. So when you start running a cash discount, do people get pissed off and say, wait a minute, if I use my credit card, I have to pay 2.9% more? In fact, do you know what? When I went to the state of Colorado to pay some tax, they did that.
Yeah, they're exempt from that law.
Huh?
The state is exempt from the law he's talking about, but almost every gas station now has a cash discount listed. So when you pull up to the pump, do you go inside and pay with cash, or do you just use your credit card, Tom?
Use my credit card in the machine.
Like I do, and you pay the higher rate.
We're in a society of convenience. Individuals are not getting upset about this.
And why should businesses eat it?
Why shouldn't they?
Why should they? I don't think they should.
They shouldn't.
I don't think there's anything wrong with consumers paying for the convenience of a credit card.
But let's not forget, if a business listening doesn't want to do that, we'll still give them the best rates there are. It doesn't matter.
That's exactly right. And if they want a hybrid model, we can create a hybrid model.
How would that work?
Where they would pass on just a portion, and they would eat a portion. So they're kind of in it together.
But no matter what, the rates, even if they pass it all on to consumers, the rates are less than anywhere else.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The way we've structured our pricing.
No one can beat us, or can they beat us?
By a penny, by a few pennies, maybe. But
we guarantee that if you come with us and you want out because you get a better deal,
we'll help them move. But we're going to match or beat whatever rate.
You can't. Okay, good.
There's no way that we're ever going.
Mark, we ought to get a lot of our big merchants to start using it.
We've got a lot more referral list members than you know, and what I love about it is they're like anybody else. They send over what these guys want to see. These guys turn around and go, here's how much we can save you a year. It's that simple, and there's no long-term contracts. We keep forgetting to give the number out. I've had 5 people text saying, what's the damn number?
All right. First of all, go ahead.
844-296-SAVE. 844-296-SAVE, or go to savingonfees with an S.com. Savingonfees.com.
And I've got on somebody who does just $20,000 a month. We're looking at an average. This is what we've averaged with all of our merchants that we've been doing this with. With the unlimited program, the $20,000 a month, almost $6,000 a year.
That's what I do business. That's what I do on my OnlyFans. I take my shirt off.
Think about that. That's amazing, though. $6,000 a year.
I'm not in that conversation. All I do is see what he's doing. I'm like,
I said $20,000 a month is about what I do on my OnlyFans account.
Well, okay. Hey, there's valid stuff on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the $6,000 a year.
Could be savings season if you open a public savings account.
I wonder if there really is.
What is OnlyFans?
It's where hookers go to die.
He'll kill himself. That's where millennial. All right, I'm going to talk about insurance right now because it's important. Don't trust your insurance company with any insurance claim. And here's another thing. Get
free help on your insurance claim, free help up front with Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. Now, here's what you do. You call them, and they'll look at any insurance claim you have, whether it be the fires, the fringe of the fires with smoke, soot, ash, windstorms, hail, whatever you have. If it's an insurance claim, even if it's recently closed and you don't think you were handled correctly, or you're curious, they'll take a look at it free of charge. free of charge. Then they'll tell you what they think they can do for you, and they're honest about it. And if you hire them, they take a contingency fee on what they can collect for you. 720-715-0000. That's right. 720-715-0000. COClaims.com. And while we're talking about insurance, if you need someone to help restore the property, that's to stop the damage, to get rid of toxic substances, and to even rebuild, or to at least make the house secure and safe, then you will do no better than American Restoration. In fact, the entire industry, we had a complaint even today, like we do most days, about ugly, disgusting, lying restoration companies. That's why we recommend American Restoration, 8337-AMREST, with all the certifications you need for asbestos cleanups or mold, mildew, meth labs, unattended death, crime, any kind of insurance loss, flood, fire. 8337-AMREST, or online, amrest247.com. Okay. When it comes to auto repair, you've heard people call the show. You've heard people say, wait a minute, was I ripped off? I need an opinion. You'll never need that if you deal with our people that we know and trust. One of them, Uncle Kevin Calkin at Sheridan Auto Tech, SheridanAutoTech.com. I call him Uncle Kevin because it's an affectionate term, because he treats his people like family. Sheridan Auto Tech, the people you need for your car. 303-455-7242. 455-7242. Maintenance, repairs, and electrical issues, SheridanAutoTech.com.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business.
Okay. You have one of those checks.
I just don't even know what to say to the guy. They're going to call you, and no, he says no one has called him. 303-5360. Thank you.
Is that the one with the PDF?
Well, you get the idea.
No, that's David Terry. And he's in Florida.
It always means you
David Terry, that's my contact. I sent him to you guys.
Yeah. David Terry.
Do we have one of those checks to give him here?
You're calling him right now?
I'm sending it to be called.
Okay.
Do we have one of our checks to give to him while it's here, or you don't have one here? Write Lloyd on it.
No, leave it blank.
Did you send this guy out she's talking about?
Yeah, I'm positive I did, because there are three people. Jim Banks, who wasn't very. Once I attached the cookies to the PDF from my drive, because knowing going from my Google Drive to another Google, if I attach the cookie from my drive, it would accept. He had it right then. We were talking about it all. So I'm sure it was a firewall issue.
How much could we save him?
He's a brand new business.
Oh, okay.
Brand new business.
Do you like that? New business.
Yes and no. Yes, because we can really work with them on a custom, solution.
But no, because they don't know how good you are.
Well, no, because
you can't show them how much you're saving.
Yes, right. On the savings part, but there's a lot of things that they don't know they need, especially getting into a new business, especially restaurants too. Somebody who's never been in a restaurant environment.
It's food truck. What's the risk industry there? Is it high or low?
Oh, it's pretty low. It's pretty low because everybody likes food trucks now. It's very trendy now.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So in addition to everything else we've been talking about credit card processing. It can actually make or break a small new business. It really can.
So this was an amazing number. During the break, Corey was saying even the businesses that we've sent over there that do less than $20,000 or around $20,000 average a month are still saving over $6,000 a year, Tom. That's massive amounts of money. That should tell you, business owners, how much that credit card processor you're using now is screwing you.
And if you're starting a business, just call 844-296-SAVE. Or if you have an existing contract, let Corey take a look at it. Corey, how many of these existing contracts are long-term? Do you know? Do you find people that are just tied up?
We find a lot of people are getting tied up. So there are contracts that will generally leave people in there for 3 years. 2 to 3 years is what we see as the average.
Have you had people check with you, found out they were stuck, and came back afterwards?
We have found that, but in a lot of cases, we can save them enough money that it makes it worthwhile to get out of that contract and pay the penalty. Sometimes it's $500 one time. Sometimes for the larger merchants, it's the amount of processing fees times the remainder of months on the contract. But in the same breath, again, those merchants are seeing enough savings that it makes it worthwhile
to switch. Now, I want to know, are there any hidden clauses in some of these contracts with other processors that automatically renew them if they don't let them know they want out?
Absolutely. Almost, I would say 99%.
Uh-oh. Okay, so they have to, if you're listening right now and you're saying, doggone it, I'm in a contract, but I'm going to be out in 2 years, or I'm going to be out in a year, I'm going to be out in 6 months, don't take that for granted. You may not be out unless you let them know, right?
Yeah, within a 30-day grace period, sometimes 60. So it automatically renews.
And sometimes you have to let them know in a certain window.
Yes.
They make it difficult, don't they, on purpose?
Absolutely.
They make it difficult. They make it tricky. Like, hey, you didn't let us know during this window, so we're now going to what? Re-up you? And what do they usually re-up them for? Another 3 years?
For another 3 years for whatever that contract was, and then in most cases they'll raise their rate. So legally they have to send them a letter with kind of those big
saying it's about to expire?
No, that's saying that they're going to raise their rates.
Oh.
And most individuals just put that in a drawer in their desk.
They'll creep up on you. That's one of the big deals, man.
Yeah.
If you've had the same processor for 5 years and you look at what you were paying 5 years ago, it's going to blow your mind how much more you're paying.
So no matter who you are, it would behoove you to get an estimate
of
what we can save
expect when they call? What do you ask for when they call up?
Yeah, what do they need to give you? If they call up and say, we're interested.
If we're looking at rates, I'm going to ask them for 1, 2, or 3 months worth of credit card statements, whatever they have available.
On what they get paid on, yeah.
Yeah, on their transactions and what they're paying every month. That'll give, and they're extremely difficult to read if you're not used to reading those. Transaction by transaction, we will do a handwritten line-by-line comparison on what they would have paid with us compared to what they're paying currently.
Okay, and this number, toll-free, of course, and we're local, by the way, but here's the number, 844-296-SAVE, S-A-V-E, 844-296-SAVE, and it's savingonfees.com. The guy you've been hearing from for the whole show is Corey Kropp from Merchants First. And Corey has,
follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW. KHOW.com. And on the